Okay, so for this game we've got Ian McDonald against Aaron Ruko. So it's 2 new lists featuring a bit of Wave 9 stuff. So
yeah, this isn't super new. Ian has actually flown this at one of the small casual tournaments at Myth. He did not do super well with it. Or at least I don't think he did as well as he would have liked.
hey, not winning, you know.
Yeah, I think he was 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
I forget.
That's
He
fine.
ended up in the middle of the 6th.
It's still a Wave 9 list, got Fenrow in it.
Yeah. Well, this is a slight modification as well, because he had R5P8 on Manaru, but Revenge Droid refused to revenge.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
So
Well, in your case, Revenge Droid was a little too spiteful.
we have Fenrow with Fearlessness, Stealth Device, Conquer Dawn title, and then Paylob with TLT, Vectored Thrusters, Adaptability, Zuckus, and Moldy Crow. Vectored Thrusters on a Hawk.
He basically replaced Cloaking Device with it. And, because, you know Ian, he likes to experiment with loading out a Hawk to be a ridiculously annoying support ship.
I see the value of Cloaking Device. I'm sure Ian will prove me wrong, but I think Cloaking Device is a much better choice than Vectored Thrusters, because you can get that jump forwards.
Yeah, I think he's still currently in the experimental phase with this one, but...
Yeah. Then Manaru, Adaptability, Anti-Pursuit Lasers, K4, Unhinged, and Rigged Cargo Chute. So that's a pretty good...
Interesting to see how effective the cargo chute really is, I think.
Yeah. It seems like a good control element.
Yeah, it's just, you do have to go to a fair bit of effort to set it up. Ian's missing the usual I can see where you're going tools that he typically has in this list.
Especially, that's a good point. I don't see K4 being worth it without any extra offense on Manaru. Those target locks. I suppose it's there to get past to Fen.
Yeah, I think that's his intent here, because Fen does not, in the departure from how most people are flying him, he's not got the push the limit auto thrusters, which is apparently standard so far. And I'm honestly interested to see if this is actually a good setup for him, because
I feel like it's a one threat list, which I don't think are overly good in the current meta. Too many things are going to explode Fen. If Ian has good green dice, this list could rip people apart and give the appearance of being really, really good.
The problem is it's only still 3 green dice, and the torpedo boats, there are still a few of us stubbornly clinging to the torpedo boats.
It's not even top...
they pop Fen, and then what does he do?
Yeah. Without Palpatine, auto thrusters, stealth device,
he's just missing too many of the pieces to make a truly invincible ace.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree. I don't think it has enough firepower in the rest of the list. As I said, Ian didn't do particularly well with it.
Yeah. So then we've got Aaron's list, which is Karnar Jax, which will be interesting against the Manaru shenanigans. That is a standard Karnar, PTL, self-device, auto thrusters, railguard title. And we have a backdraft with all of the free upgrades.
He's got the adaptability, the special ops, and the collision detector, because Aaron didn't want to spend more points.
But wanted to fill the slot anyway.
Well, he might as well. I mean, why would you not take collision detector if you're not taking something else?
You put it on Echo. Speaking of Echo.
Yeah, but Echo is a fire control.
Yeah.
Delicious fire control for all the murdering. So it's a pretty standard buzzsaw style.
Yeah. Callus VI, Advanced Cloaking Device, and Fire Control System, 39 points.
Yeah, these days, with less need to have to fight through Fel all the damn time, I feel like Callus is probably better overall than the Gunner. Simply because there are so many ships running around these days that you don't need Gunner anymore. Against. There are so many things that are just 1 or 2 agility, and you'll go, oh, I hit you for 1 damage. I guess I'm sad I have Gunner. Because there's so much stuff that you're going to reliably hit for 1 or 2. I mean, Paylob and Manaru are perfect examples. Agility 2 stuff, sometimes you're just going to hit them for 1, and then Gunner looks useless.
That's true.
And it's actually quite consistently. You'll get a bad roll, and you'll still hit for 1.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the asteroid setup? seems pretty standard, really. Nothing to write home about.
Yeah, not really.
And I'll have to turn the dice cam. In fact, I'll just slide the dice cam to the other side so we can see all of the ships.
Yep. We moved it over there just
Oh.
because Jonah had such a long list.
Aaron doesn't even have Karnar in his red interceptor. Sad
Yeah, aren't you
times.
disappointed in him?
I am,
Tell him you're
actually.
disappointed in him.
Uh,
You hear that, Aaron?
I'd have to shout. Red
Never mind.
interceptor, man.
I wanted this to match the stripes, but then Echoes, the shipboard, didn't.
Sad times.
Yes. The aesthetics in us is all very disappointed in you.
Yeah, so we have everyone deployed, a pretty central field. Both players should have enough manoeuvrability to get round. Hawk having a barrel roll is not going to struggle too much to navigate this field.
Yep. It's also
And-
going to make it a little more unpredictable, which is useful,
Yeah.
I think. Like, it's not the most amazing thing because it's still a hawk, but, well, a hawk with a little extra maneuverability can do some, frankly, surprising things that we aren't used to simply because we don't see the hawk on the table a whole lot.
Yeah, I suppose it's not like he's going to need to be taking actions with Paylob. He's hoping to steal, but like recording devices this west.
Yeah, and the one...
It wouldn't surprise me if Ian went back to cloaking device after
Yeah.
a bit of a extended trial run.
Yeah, in the one bit of the game I did see with the... against triple X1 deltas, the barrel roll was not actually helping him a whole lot. Even though he was able to try and reposition around the defenders, they would just like get enough range that he wasn't really able to roll out of it.
Yeah, I think the thinking would be it helps you get more distance for the TLT to try and cancel out that donut hole.
Yeah,
But-
without losing it.
But you're doing it with a hawk, so it's pretty easy to predict that hawk's moves.
Yeah, it's not like it's an unhinged Y still.
Yeah. Okay, so all the dials are set. We've been waiting for you. Yep. All good.
Yep.
Manaru.
How did you adaptability your pilots, Ian?
I put them up, so
Both up?
the numbers will be.
So it'll just be 6-5?
I mean, they might as well be 4-5 because of his.
Yeah.
I could have
Yeah.
swapped the order to
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Because it is possible for you to go mana remove second.
So there's the adaptability taken into account.
Yeah. And in this matchup, Aaron really has no reason not to adapt up for backdraft as well, so
Yeah.
he might as well. So just a slow crawl forward. Looks like he's going to want to control the center of the board and force the faster ties to fight him up close.
I definitely would have taken. No, I suppose you want all eights, don't you?
Well,
So I think I'd always spend at least a point on backdraft for VI, personally.
yeah, well, Aaron elected for making
Cheap.
them all skill 8.
Yeah, I understand.
In this list,
so-
I don't think I would really argue against it because you might also have, if you really wanted to for some weird reason, you can make it 6, and 8 plays nicer with the list.
What you could do is swap this around to be Backdraft Whisper and then the Inquisitor. But you don't get the mess around factor for Karnar. Then you could make them all 9s.
Yeah. But then you're losing Karnor's disruption. And honestly, I feel like Karnor is probably actually, I think, one of the most underplayed ships that deserves to be played a little more. Just because he's so disruptive to so many game plans.
Yeah. It's really good. I took him to Worlds last year and really enjoyed it.
I think it's just because when you have room for an interceptor, it's really hard not to justify that extra point for Fel. But and Jax's disruption is actually randomly not that amazing. You know, the matchup.
It does all depend on what you're going against. If they have the options of taking the other actions, it balances out quite well.
Problem is up against, say, a crack swarm, they'll actually be able to chew through him pretty quickly. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Aaron's also playing this one fairly cagily. He doesn't really want to engage head on, which is reasonable.
Oh, you've got to go like 4 forwards for backdraft and then K-turn and then start running away.
Yeah, just keep backdrafting.
Yeah, swoop.
Yeah, well, come in at an angle and then sloop. Obviously.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've been really looking in the SF and seeing mostly a gimmicky ship that is more for entertainment than competition.
I think it's fine. I think... So we were discussing as we're doing a setup. I don't think it compares to a Sutnia Fell, but I don't think every ship has to.
Well, the thing is, like, Fel is probably the pinnacle of what a ship's power level should be, if not arguably just a tiny bit over. Because it can be extremely impressive against some lists. Like, arguably, Fel's mere existence forces some things out of the meta as well.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to kill a Fel.
But I feel like there's scope to do interesting things with it. It's just finding the other ships to go with it. I'm pretty sure once we have the Epsilon shuttle, we should get a little bit more first order list options.
Yeah, well, I do personally think that trying too hard to set up the title is going to be a trap that a lot of people fall into.
Well, it's 0 points. It's view it as a bonus when it comes off.
Yeah. Yeah, what I mean is, like, people are going to try too hard to make use of the double tap, and a lot of the things I've been looking at, I've just been thinking, oh, how do I make it double tap?
Okay, here's an interesting question. With the latest timing chart, I almost interpreted some of the wording as saying you can't use 2 focuses on the 2 different TLT shots.
That's incorrect, Shane.
So you can
No.
use 1 focus on each.
Yeah.
The trigger is, essentially, you get
So-
a trigger for each option that you could spend on a given attack.
So, no. So what they're talking about there is Ian's got some confusion over the timing chart and a rule for spending focus tokens.
Yeah.
So it is the
Each
way
attack
to
is a separate
treat the
opportunity.
wording is each you can only spend 1 per modified dice step. There are 2 modified dice steps in a TLT attack.
Yeah.
Sorry, attacker modifies attack dice.
To be strictly
Yeah.
scrupulously accurate, yes.
Just because I know that I'll be sitting watching Twitch chat when this game's going out, that someone will correct me. So I'll correct myself in advance.
Because pedantry, that's what the internet is all about.
Yeah.
Scrupulously accurate. Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Oh, this is where you want to see old T-Dog coming in and stripping all of the Moldy Crow's focuses away. Screw you, Moldy Crow.
Old Tarok.
Oh, no, it's T-Dog. Old T-Dog.
Honestly, this is an interesting way to set up a focus bank because early on, he's able to just pass a whole bunch to Paylob through Manaru. Manaru's early focus actions actually become quite relevant, and it forces you to really aggressively go in and deal with this.
Yeah.
The longer you let it sit, the more obnoxious an opponent Paylob becomes, because if he's got a bank of like 10 focus tokens, he can actually pretty freely vector thrusters and not care.
Yeah. I feel like I can put the scoreboard back on now.
Yeah, they're not fighting at the top of the table for once.
Yeah. I'll set the camera up again for the next game. I didn't realise I'd cut off so much of a map.
Well, in every game, there's a chunk of the map that's not really fought over, and looks like it'll be okay for this one at least. So, I mean, they're already clearing out of the bottom half pretty quickly.
You chose not to decloak. Was that a mistake or an active choice?
Honestly, given his current positioning, this sets him up for some interesting decloak lanes next turn. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm actually going to run out to the car and grab something real quick here.
Yep.
Just how do I turn off the mic?
So you mute it by clicking it one quick into a middle.
To the middle?
Yep. You should now be muted.
Alright, cool.
So it is just me talking now, so lots of filling to do. Fenrao not really charging forwards into Echo, but nice casual approach. The no target lock, which obviously we all know, but Ian was planning for later. So an interesting approach from both players. I'm not 100% on wanting to dominate a middle field, but Aaron's got a good approach for the initial engagement. He might get gummed up after that initial pass, but I'm pretty sure we know where Whisper should be going. Sorry, where Echo should be going. Oh.
So do you think either of these guys is making a mistake in how they're approaching this?
I was just discussing. I'm not sure I would be flying to try and dominate the middle of the table if I was Ian, but I see the benefit that if Aaron does follow through with this engage, although we should have a nice initial engagement, he could get gummed up quite badly after this initial pass.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like 2 hits. Spends the target lock. Nothing. So 2 hits. Echo takes the damage.
And so the dice are going to choose this one. 2 damage should really have not hit a cloaked phantom at range 3, but what can you do?
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. If we played with averages, we wouldn't need dice.
Yeah. And it would be a lot less interesting a game.
Yep.
Like,
So 2 hits. And double evaded. There you go. 3 dice is enough. 5 dice is too many, evidently.
apparently so. Unfortunately, a bad exchange for Aaron, but, well, at least it's only 1 point. Depending on how the dice go, it could very well be that 1 die isn't relevant.
Oh, Kano evades the solitary shooting from Manaru.
As well he should.
Yep. So, how quickly do you try and get Backdraft to be in the rear arc? Do you go for the frontal pass and then just fly past him, or do you swoop early?
See, that's always the same. It's always the same gamble as with the fire spray, right? When you're trying to like set up a cath with tail gunners, like when do you try to turn around? And like right when Scum first came out, I was experimenting a fair bit with cath just to try and get that superior rear arc shot, and a lot of the time it feels like it's really not correct to try and actually get it. You just take it when you have it, even when you're set up like Backdraft or Cath to have a lot of benefit from it.
I think that the mistake people make is actually K-turning or stressing themselves to get it.
Yeah,
Whereas you can change your angle on the fly past. And the one bank, on the fire spray especially, I've not flown the Thai SF yet, but like, the one bank changes your angle more than enough with a fire spray that you will suddenly activate that rear arc once you're in the thick of a fighting.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the big mistake. People try too hard to set up the gimmick, and a lot of the time it's like you should actually just fly the ship normally and set up the gimmick and let the gimmick come into play later.
Yeah.
Like, you can't force it.
So, we've still got Jax's dial to go down, and then Ian's got to set Fenrao. and paylob style, it looks like.
Because of the position of that debris, Fen is kind of in an awkward position. Can you shift this over a little here?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry. I suppose I could get the TV monitor as well. I was expecting you to be playing today and just do some solo commentary, but it's fine. I'm definitely going to play today.
Yeah, well, I always felt two people on the desk is more interesting, but
It is.
Fen's current position is actually kind of awkward. He doesn't really have a good turn in because I think it's a little too close for to the debris for a one hard to keep him clear. It's a little hard to tell on the screen, but that might be a hair too close. And also, it doesn't really put him in a great position anyways.
Do you go for a 3 bank and just try and get past the debris and around? And
I'm not sure the 3 bank will clear either.
Oh.
Because it might be a little too close on the angle.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by his position is kind of awkward. I mean, obviously Ian's going to have a better ability to tell.
You could
I can actually just get up and look.
As long as Manaru gets actions, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, but the thing about the Fearlessness setup is you really want to be able to take advantage of that dial.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to take advantage of the fact that you have the hard one and aren't stressing yourself.
So if you do the 3 bank now, the green moves later for next turn should still give you a shot as well.
Yeah.
And it's not like this shot won't be modified because Manaru.
That's true. Just that it's always risky flying over an obstacle with such a fragile ship.
It's the debris. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what Pat said once. Remember the first game of Regionals? He's like, I'll be fine.
That's what I say every game.
And then he hit it and died. And you tend to do that too. Just hit it and die.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take a closer look at the table. I can still keep talking over there because of our new wireless setup that you so scrupulously set up.
Yeah. So, how's it look?
Yeah, from the look at the actual table, a 3 bank actually could clear. Like, I think in that case, I might go for it. Unless, of course, we're wrong and doesn't clear and Ian doesn't feel like doing it, because if anyone's going to be able to judge,
Ian knows where that will land pretty much exactly.
Yeah, he spent hours mapping it out. Hours upon hours upon hours.
But I'm going to count how many times Hawk Barrel was in this game. Currently the count is at 0.
Yeah, well.
So Ian's still got a pick remove for Fenrao.
I think it might actually be close enough that he's having trouble judging it too. Yeah, we may need to fast forward this on the rebroadcast.
Oh, it's fine. I'm sure when Ian... You've got to try as well as if you want to actually carry on. I obviously feel like that's a mistake because it's Echo.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, in this list, I would actually be trying to remove Carnor or Backdraft first, because Echo is not committed and in an awkward place for you to get to right now.
Let's talk about Echo's positioning then. What kind of moves would you be looking at?
For Echo, this is the turn I would be looking to decloak. I would actually be thinking about a decloak back towards Aaron's side of the table there.
Yeah, this is the one I was expecting.
Yeah. Or this and go grabbing a large turn.
Yeah, the 3 hard, maybe not even. You could bank again and try and come in at the angle.
Yeah, I would. Although I would be expecting Aaron himself to do a 3 hard here.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
to
be completely fair, there's a decent chance that Aaron did the 2 and ended up just hitting that asteroid.
Don't be mean.
Hey, it wouldn't be accurate commentary if you didn't call players terrible. when they
Only
are
when
terrible.
you actually do something terrible. You can't preemptively call them terrible.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened when they preemptively called Xiaohu terrible.
Wow. Okay, so going for the target lock on.
He's
This
got
is
his
from
pick.
K4.
Yeah. He's
So-
got his pick, so.
I think if it was in range of Echo, you've got to give it to Echo.
Yeah, if you ever get that shot on Echo, you take it.
I suppose you have to pass everything, don't you? So
You do, yeah.
do you? I don't see the point in that move because if Karnor, the only shot that's going to worry Karnor is the range 1 shot, in which case it then becomes unfocused.
Yeah. Well, Karnor might be a little vexed by 2 in-arc TLT shots out of
It won't be,
Paylov,
if-
but that's not
If
gonna happen.
Karnor doesn't finish
That's
at
not
range
gonna
1 of Paylov,
Well, what I'm saying is that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like that is a thing that could potentially annoy him, but it
That's
is not
true.
a thing that is going to happen.
did he swoop?
I think.
He swooped.
I don't like it. Not a fan. Not a fan. Funny thing is,
And there's the bank I was talking about.
yeah.
So, what would you go for to see at the focus?
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to commit to removing the jump master this turn.
Okay, so do you boost to see if you can get a range? Well, in fact, the boost won't.
No, the
clear
boost won't, he won't be able to boost here.
barrel
He's going to
roll.
roll.
Yeah,
Right.
give the Hawk a range 1 shot.
Yes, let the Hawk have a range 1 primary shot. That is probably the range 1 primary shot you are least concerned about
Yeah.
in this game.
Push and focus.
I don't think he's going to kill this turn, so I would have gone for the evade, and that was like the focus. I would have gone for the evade just in case, because Jax doesn't quite have the extra layer of survivability
Yeah.
that a Fel with Emperor does.
So don't forget the stress on there as well.
Oh yes, thank you.
Yeah, stop patting.
And the K turn here.
I was so worried you're going to do it.
No, just flying past.
That's a very interesting play.
I thought it
I'd-
wouldn't have surprised me had Ian done a Talon roll there,
Yeah.
because it does have the Talon roll.
Yeah,
doesn't
the
it?
talent at 2.
Because it would have collided,
Yeah.
but you're not bothered about it colliding because you're facing to come back around the fight anyway, and you can't get shot by Echo. So
I think Ian was expecting a decloak in the other direction, because if Echo had decloaked back and then tried
Yeah.
to slow roll into the fight, this would be an excellent position. So I think
that's
he,
why I
think
think
he just
this was
miscalled it.
this was the better move by Aaron. I think that decloak and bank was the best move.
Yeah, well, it also throws that asteroid out there, so it's really hard for him to get in your way or get behind you.
Yeah.
Like, flying into clear space in front of you just leaves enemy ships a lot of space.
Yeah.
Now, also, Ben is hanging out doing nothing this round, and this could cost him.
It's the problem with Ian's playstyle as well. If you disengage Fen, take two turns getting back in the fight, because Ian's such a slow player anyway, that's a lot of actual offense lost.
Yeah, it's a lot of total time lost.
It might only be 2 turns, but when you're only playing a 5 or 6 turn game against Ian,
That could be enough.
That could be a really
Honestly-
punishing mistake.
Yeah, honestly, he's about to eat a whole bunch of dice in 2 mana Rue this turn.
Yeah.
So
I'd definitely be going at Manaru with.
I wouldn't be passing this turn
Echo.
just because she's going to need that focus.
Sorry, Aaron, who did you callous?
Ben Rao.
And you didn't even get a focus.
No, I did. I got
That was it. He got 4 blanks,
one of them I flipped.
and then he got 3 blanks.
I'm on top of that.
So you just suck at rolling, got it again. I was pretty sure that you would callous Fez, but
Yeah.
I had to check at the start.
The dice were not with him in any case. Yeah, I would concentrate fire, and of course leave backdraft for last.
You don't get the sun trying to focus defensively, so just tap everything.
Yep, so Echo's going to shoot first. Wow. That's not a good start. L2 roll. Jack's second and then backdraft. I mean, if you've got an auto crit, hold it for last. Yeah, he did shoot. Oh, wait, he's shooting backdraft first? I don't know. I mean, there's always that chance, so... Yeah. Right. Yeah, I actually forgot about Jax for a second, just because I'm so not used to seeing him, and it's not red. I always fly Jax with a red interceptor, so...
You have to assume that backdraft would have been the right choice to shoot last because it's a guaranteed crit.
Yeah.
I was silly. I didn't crack hole anyway, so I guess it was fine.
Yeah, as it happens, that he wasn't punished for the misplay. He wasn't directly punished. I mean, technically it was still a misplay, just it wasn't a material misplay.
For Jax, yeah, and then he got stolen. I didn't want to give him another focus. I also could just not stress myself.
That would have been too good a play. I wouldn't be casting without making fun of the players. That's an interesting choice. That's an interesting choice. Yeah, I'm not sure that it's really worth it. Ian has a tendency to get really greedy with Zuckuss and try to Zuckuss exactly one to get a hit, and then it doesn't work. He got pretty upset about it on Saturday because every single time he Zuckussed exactly one die, another evade would just come up. But yeah. That's what I said. That's what I said.
I can see Ian getting really frustrated at this because you've got Jax is going to be stopping at 74, so he's going to not see the dice rolls he could have had.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? Jax is extremely irritating to deal with.
The thing I was going to say now that he's done the shot is you've got to do that range one prime into Jax. He doesn't have any tokens.
Yeah, the 4 dice can fail you.
We get 2 hits.
Yeah.
Jax.
I feel like the highest percentage play for actually doing damage would have been shooting backdraft, just because that idiot's only rolling 2 dice. Like that's really it. It's like the math just says shoot backdraft.
So as long as there's not all focuses.
Yeah. Honestly, like just the raw dice, like 3 dice, you shoot backdraft.
Yeah, I see that.
Like I think shooting Echo was the worst choice. Honestly.
My greedy play would have been the prime race into Jax, because when you get double crit and it dies...
Yeah, but the thing is, I still think that is a better play than shooting an Echo, because Echo is not a greedy play, and it's such a ridiculously long shot. It's like, well, even if you get it, it's not really helping you. 3 against 4 is much... he had a focus. They can't evade naturally. I don't... oh, wait, they can evade naturally, but he didn't. Yeah. But, yeah, like, 3 against 4 with a token is a long shot, and you don't kill Echo if it works. And it has to, and the really long shot, even on the really long shot, you put him into 1 hull. I don't know.
My mic keeps going on. I'm back on again now, I think.
Yeah, you're on now.
Oh, that's good. Yours has a...
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to switch to a different unit and then assume it was a fault with this unit. Yeah, it's been fine. Yours hasn't gone off.
Mine has been fine, and I don't think... it's on channel 1, right?
Yeah, channel 1. I was channel 2. I'll put batteries in another one and see how that one works. I was just thinking.
All right. I'll fill the time for now. Anyways, like statistically, trying to hit Echo is such a ridiculously long shot, and it doesn't kill Echo. So I don't think it was a worthwhile play because even if you get the long shot, you don't actually accomplish a whole lot. Like the long shot on Jax pops his stealth device and potentially even kills him. Like the long shot on Jax, while equally improbable, is still actually it's a lot more valuable a result. Shooting in backdraft is a safe play. It probably would have taken his shield off. And like of all the three targets, I do think Echo is actually the worst statistically.
Okay, so I should be back now.
Go ahead
So
and say something.
it's the joys of testing new technology. Hopefully,
Well,
I'm
at least
not
it's
coming
recorded.
through too loud.
Well, at least this is recorded, so you have time to mess
Yeah.
with the levels later.
I'll be fine. I'll have a play around. That's really, really good. Maybe.
Maybe you just had a defective set, or was that just a battery change?
No, I've changed it to the other channel. So there is.
Could be a
There's,
channel defect.
yeah, there's potentially 4 mics I can use with this. But obviously, I should only ever really need 2. So I've got the same mixer that we use here.
Yep.
So at home as well. You can obviously feed all 4 mics through the one channel, then potentially have 3 more wired mics. Or I can do them out individually. So I could do 4 of these headset mics and do the levels from separately.
Yeah. For one of the big games, it might be cool to have a whole bunch of people on the mic for that.
It's good. Lets me do better quality interviews and stuff when I go away. That was one of the criticisms I had come back from Nova, was that trying to do the interviews with just a table mic.
Yeah, that's awkward.
It's pretty difficult. So
Yeah.
this was one solution I thought of.
Well, Fen really only has a couple of choices here. Does he want a Talon roll, or does he want a hard one and try and boost back into the fight?
I missed damage that turn as well, so none went through on Echo.
Yeah,
we
we're
lost.
just knocking off all the shields on Manaru.
Is it all of them?
Yeah, she's lost her shields. Unless Ian pulled one too many shield token, they're all gone.
No, not 40 shields, Chris. He's got a grip.
40 shields, and that's terrible.
When Gonk goes into overdrive mode.
He's gone mad. Shut him down.
So
Training bolt.
we're halfway through the game now, and this is round 4.
First
Turn
round
4?
of combat. First round
Yeah.
of real combat, anyways.
Yeah, we had.
Yeah, about
So turn 4, because we had. Oh, we're counting the focus tokens. So it's turn 4.
But he was stealing some from.
He stole an evade.
No. He was stealing some from Manaru.
Oh.
Literally
No,
said that
did he?
was.
No, he
Like on the
passed.
first couple of turns, like he took tokens from Manaru.
No, he passed tokens to. Oh, yeah.
On the first couple of turns, Manaru took focuses and he passed them.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you? If he actually missed that trick, then we have something to make fun of him for. I wasn't paying
I know
attention, but
in
I
the
assumed it
first
was.
round of combat where Fen shot at Echo and did the damage, he passed the focus to Fen.
Yeah, that round he did, but not the. But the first round, there would have been an extra focus token. Yeah. Just a predictable, straightforward maneuver from Manaru. I don't think she picked up a target. I don't think that was green. That was a 4,
What's
right?
the greens
Yeah.
on the SF?
The SF?
Yeah.
Not great.
Let's see. He should have
One
taken.
banks and 2 banks?
Yeah.
And this is what I was meaning. Like, he tried to force it too hard, and now Manaru just jumps out in front and backdraft hits her and looks like an idiot. Because I don't think the SF has a particularly generous green dial. I'll take a quick look. Oh. That would be a perfect turn to rigged cargo shoot right on backdraft's face and stop it from actioning again.
Yeah, it's before you reveal a dial. I believe
I
you
thought it
do.
was an
Is it an action? I can't. Yeah. No, that sounds more correct. More correcter.
Saying it like that.
The more correcter way.
Well, the one bank is green, but the rest are straight for the SF, so that's gonna hit if you did a green.
Oh, I would have dialed in the 2 turn.
If he did a
Well,
green.
I would
right?
have had stupid engine-y things on him. Ion Mark II engines.
Yeah.
So I would have been down in the bank
Yeah,
anyway.
making the 2 and 3 bank green with the tendency to want to do with those hard turns at
For
1 and 3
backdraft
being
specifically,
red. Yeah.
because you want to have the option to whatever.
Not to
There's a
mention,
sweep.
like, the hard 1s and 2s are red, so honestly, the Mark II isn't terrible. It helps really. Really helps you control your arcs while you're grabbing turns.
So
yeah.
anti-pursuit
Honk.
lasers.
And I was thinking, should I just not
Nothing.
my stripes? Okay. I was just thinking stripes.
Yeah, it looks like this is just going to be a flank. All right. Well, Ian didn't do it, so
It is an action, yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought. So
Because you take 2 on a pursuit craft and experimental interface. Drop them on top of each other.
yeah, well, you do get it for each obstacle you hit. So if you hit both at the same time,
And it's a really thick piece of cardboard then.
yeah.
I only bought 1 pursuit craft and I'm not buying another one.
I bought 2. I'm gonna make it work eventually somehow.
So
I don't know how, but I'm gonna.
what
make
about
it work.
Echo now? She gonna do a big turn behind Fed? Or do another bank back towards Manaru again?
Given his declog, I would assume a hard one.
Oh, yeah. So
Aaron knows he has a tendency to misjudge things, so he tends to play a little more conservatively. So that hard one doesn't surprise me at all from
well,
him.
I think he's misjudged the range for Paylob there. I think he might just be within range 2. I can't really tell from this angle. Look at the table.
Was it range 2 of payload?
For stealing that focus token from Jax.
No.
No,
I
that's
believe
going to
so.
be out of range 2.
With the new freedom afforded by these mics, I'm going to take a look.
You can keep talking and everything.
Oh no, we were we already looked at the dial, so
I was going to look at the dial because I can remember when the cage ranks were.
yeah.
I suppose I shouldn't tell him that because that just tells him I'm not doing the cage.
Your action, anyways. Or your, I'm done.
Yeah. Also, we were actually talking about the SF style.
What?
What was green on the SF style? Not a lot.
I imagine it's 4K. Because these basically
So,
Those things it is
It's a
a 4. The protectorate.
good move from Fen
Like
there.
we were just looking at the ranges.
Should be able
for
to
some things,
hammer
and
some
yes,
damage
Paylob
through
is
onto
definitely
Karnal.
not at range 2 to steal. That really doesn't look like it unless
No.
I have.
I think he's got bigger concerns now because he's going to get TLT'd and Fen Road
Yeah. And Fen's going to have fearlessness.
and the title. So,
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if he's going to want to shoot at Fen with.
oh, he shouldn't.
Arnor?
He should not shoot at Fen with Karnal.
Like, I don't think that's a great idea. But that's going to be a 5+1 attack with a lock. That wasn't actually that impressive.
4. Well, he needs to evade all of them.
Yeah. That looks like all tokens. Looks like he tokened out.
So, yeah, pop stealth
Oh,
device
right.
and takes
Go
the
get-
damage. Yeah, there was 1 blank in there.
Yep. Yep. Backdraft is also actually in a really awkward position here. This is why the 2 turn would have been a better play for sure.
Yeah.
Now he's got to shoot through a debris at range 3. And this is exactly what I meant about trying to force it.
Yeah.
Tried too hard to make the mechanic work, and now he's in a really shitty spot. If he just stayed head-to-head, he still would have been able to put 4 dice into Manaru, which not quite as good as hit crit wouldn't have been. It's still not bad, and then he could have flown past Manaru.
Yeah.
And done something very slow and have a fairly good back arc shot right now.
This was into Fenrir, I believe. So he's had to bouncy fire control walk around every turn.
Yeah,
He's
no
not managed to
efficiency
keep
out of
it.
Had stealth device.
1 crit onto Fenrir. And that crit could prove more important.
What's the crit? Console
And
fire.
it
That
does
is very
prove
relevant
important.
because it's going to cost him his next action.
It's okay as long as Manaru is still on the table.
It's not too relevant. It's not too bad, but it is going to cost him.
Yeah.
Like a Talon roll isn't particularly safe anymore. A K-turn isn't particularly safe anymore, and he won't be able to move and action and adjust.
Yeah.
Or he could and risk the 1 point. But on such a fragile ship, console fire is something you really want to put out fast.
Yep, so the only shot he does have is at the Moldy Crow. 1 crit.
That's it. Not a great roll.
He's taking the shot into Fen despite the Conquer Dawn title. No? What do I know?
One's not getting through, for sure. But if he blanks out...
Yep, so takes the 2nd crit.
Oh, right, Fenrir. Fenrir gets the extra die at 1, so good enough. And that's why it wasn't a good play. Four dice plus protector title, not great. I would have just taken the shot on Manaru, honestly.
I think that was the correct play.
Just for the damage, really. Just like try and get that ship off the board.
Yeah, well, it would have been points on the table as well, on the board.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about points. I'm thinking about like long-term win here.
Oh,
yeah, like
I'm thinking about I'm playing against Ian.
Tournament play, yeah.
And if I get half points from Manaru now, that might be the only points that are on the table in another 26 minutes' time.
That's reasonable. I mean, my most satisfying win against Ian came from that sort of play as well. I mean, I bursted out his 2 Y-wings and the A-wings just ran from Poe for the rest of the day.
Oh, you were that guy, my hero.
Well, honestly, how was I supposed to play the matchup? I mean, A-wings trying to hit Poe, that's not going to happen.
Oh, but it's not about... No one plays to win this game, Calvin. That makes you a jerk. You've got to play like an idiot and try and lose, just so you both have fun.
Who has fun losing?
You've obviously not seen me play. If I don't have fun losing, I don't have fun.
Yeah, I guess there's got to be a reason you're still in this game.
And it's definitely not the infamy.
Yeah, no more damage. Could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
Honestly, getting away with only taking the 1 point on Jax and losing the stealth device.
So, Echo...
I forgot about Kalis attacking
So, he's switched the target lock back to Fenrir. So, let's see if he actually gets to use his fire control system target lock.
Someday he might. I don't think he's doing a good job of chasing down the ship he wants to chase down, honestly.
I don't think he's chasing down any ships. It's just
Yeah, he's not
scattergun.
correctly. And that is, I think, the core problem in the way Aaron is playing this list. Like, he's both forcing the gimmick of backdraft a little too hard, and he's not really playing to the
well,
strength of this matchup, where he has the ability to just go wreck one ship, and he's not doing that.
I can forgive the the forcing of a backdraft because it's only the second time he's used backdraft, and it's
Only time
easy
he's
to
played it correctly.
yeah. So I'll forgive that, but just trying to switch the locks around, I feel like if you were going to do that one hard, in that shooting phase, you should know what move you're planning on doing because it doesn't change.
Yeah.
So if you were going to dial that one hard in, you shouldn't have switched the lock to Manaru. You should have left it on Fenrir.
Yep. He's also now currently deciding where's he going to go. I mean, he has actually multiple good decloak lanes here.
Oh yeah.
I would personally go for forward and right, just because it's both of the ships are pointing not in a way that
I
are going
feel
to
like
so.
with the position of that rock, he might bottle it and go right and back. So if you go right and back, and you can
that also gives him a fair.
you can swing
amount of
around and
straight
predict where Fenn's going to finish
Yeah.
if he's your
And
new
if you can-
target.
yeah, and if you can come in at the side, it's also good.
Yeah.
I do think a forward into a two bank might be very good. Forward and right into a two bank,
Yeah.
because that gives you essentially a really wide turn.
You shouldn't clip that rock if I've got the angle
I don't
right in
think
my
so.
head.
Oh yeah, he should have plenty of space for the maneuver we were discussing.
Yeah. So, shall we talk about Ian's Jump Master and how it's going to do the one hard in a direction or another?
Yeah, I think we all see that coming. The only question is, where does he want to put that shoot? Like,
Oh dear, this is going to be bad.
honestly, I might see the one bank coming out of him and just dropping that cargo chute on top of.
That would definitely hit Jax, because Jax is in a pretty bad position because of where Fenn finished. He can't do his two left to clear, he can't really do a two right safely.
Yeah.
You do have, I'd look at dialing in the three bank with backdraft. The move, either of the moves were discussed with Echo.
Yeah, you really just want to get backdraft.
And
out,
then
yeah.
Jax, I'd be happy to swam into. I'd rather take the pursuit laser dice if I had to, so maybe even go straight forwards and try and clear the stress that way.
Well, you know, Manaru's not actually going to be able to occupy that same space without trying to. So,
Yeah.
a two bank to the right might be a safer play, but I don't know if how conservative Aaron wants to be about it. Like, I don't like the problem with the conservative play is it doesn't get you any closer to winning the game.
But you got to remember with Jax is he doesn't have to be shooting to be effective.
Yeah. But in that position, I don't think he would be making
'Cause
much use of his ability either.
If you can, stay within range one of Manaru when she has actions, she can't focus to pass it anyway.
Yeah. But honestly, dropping the chute seems very appealing right now.
Yeah.
Because it clogs up that space where the ties are trying to go through. And depending on where that Phantom goes, it could become even better. I mean, if Aaron does decloak forward, it becomes really, really appealing because then you just create a lot of space and it's really awkward to go through. It depends on what exact maneuver Ian dials in, though. Because if he wants to block, he's largely just going to turn and stay put, I think.
Yeah, it took the one I was talking about.
Yeah, this is the safer one, the less aggressive one.
Yeah.
And the way that area is gumming up, it's probably the better play. You don't want to throw more ships in there when you're already having so much trouble maneuvering, right?
It was the
there's
one
our
hard that I expected Ian to do.
Again, it's like, well, how hard is he going to force the cargo chute, right?
Yeah. He's going to barrel roll back into position.
That's what I'd do. It ends up forcing you. It ends up telegraphing that you broke Fen Rao off. Because obviously you're not going to stay in a knife fight if you barrel roll Mana Row back.
Yeah, so he's attempting the barrel roll. He's going back into. Now, I don't know if this. Yeah, there is enough space in between.
Yeah. And that is exactly the space you would want.
And this is what I was saying about maybe going straight with Karnal. If you just power pass, because that was what I was expecting Ian to try.
Yeah. And this is where that 3 bank from Backdraft would have been excellent.
Yeah, if he has dived with 3 banking.
Either direction would honestly be pretty good. Especially with Paylob, so
I would have been
far
going
out of the action.
so that I would have bumped into where Manru was.
Yeah.
Because
oh dear. He just hit. Unfortunately, Aaron does the really, really predictable thing and just hits with Backdraft, looks like.
both of them. So Ian getting the value out of Pursuit Lasers here. Well,
Yeah.
getting to roll at least.
Yeah. Well, he got a point off Backdraft, so that'll knock a shield off.
No, he didn't
Oh,
get
did
any.
he?
He missed
I thought he
everything
hit
so
with
far.
that one. Okay.
You haven't hit with Pursuit Lasers yet, have you?
No, there was 3. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what?
3 misses?
The first 2, I don't care about the SF. But if it finishes Jackson, I can't complain.
Is Jax nearly dead? I thought Jax has got 2 hull left. One hull? Did I miss one?
Apparently so.
Okay.
Ah, he took a TLT hit.
So in that case, I definitely would have been doing with 4 forwards.
Yeah.
Because that clears. You know,
Yeah.
no one sees the 4 forwards coming in the positions you were in.
Yep. And now Fen is going for the clear and disengage. Largely as anticipated.
No stealth device. Oh, you got whispers shooting.
He may be too close to Jax. Hard to tell. Probably not, actually.
No, Jax is safe.
No, I meant too close to disrupt.
Oh,
Or too far to disrupt.
Fen is safe from Jax's ability.
Yeah. But he flipped down the console fire anyways, because he's not going to risk a 50-50 of a free point. That just seems like a bad play with 2 hull left.
Well, I still think the correct play was to try and
3
finish
hull left.
Manaru. No, to get half points for Manaru.
Yep. He's not in a position to do it, though.
You still has a shot with Phantom. Just shoot at Manaru.
Yeah.
Get half points.
Like, honestly, like, the big misplay here was allowing Manaru to block those ships, and rather than setting up a maneuver where he could not block both.
Yeah.
Like, the 3 bank and 4 straight would have made it impossible to block both, I think. Like, if you bank Backdraft into the top.
Yeah.
Top
The
of the board.
reason why I would have gone with 3 bank that way to the top of the board is because Fen is flying in the opposite direction, so you
Yep.
get to shoot him out of rear arc.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. Alright, well, here's the Phantom shot. Well, that's 4 on Fen.
Our dice have been like pretty sweet. No, my team.
Wow, Fen gets out clean.
So, no damage onto Fen.
Sorry?
Fen died, in fact.
Yeah, Ben took 3 hits and a crit.
Oh, he took them. Okay. Either.
Like 3 blanks and a focus or 2 blanks and 2.
Yeah, I can't read those regionals dice very well. I don't know. Maybe it's my eyes, but I just can't read them in there. Well, there's
So-
points on the board.
And it didn't even need the the target lock.
That is a little dumb.
What was that shot?
That was the rear arc from backdraft, I'm assuming.
Direct hit goes through. Wow.
Well, the game's over now anyway, because Ian's West can't do enough damage.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we're done here. It's just a matter of, can he scrape points back and like maybe pick off the backdraft? I don't think so. Because he has no hope of finishing off Jax, I don't think. Like, that total evade choke on Fen probably just cost him the game. But honestly, like, Fen running out of position meant he wasn't likely to do a whole lot of damage to the rest of this game. But his presence could have soaked up some firepower. But now Aaron is on the board, and that should be the win.
Well, considering you only need to do 1 damage to Manaru, and you're getting an extra 17 points. So,
At which point he'd have to kill 2 ships.
yeah.
Yeah. Even at this point, like, he would have to kill Echo to win.
Yeah, Echo is the only 1 ship. If he kills Jax, it's a tie.
Yeah, but that final salvo out of
With the
Ian's
Hawk
list is pretty awful. I mean,
Oh, I want to say
Aaron's rolling
a trillion dice.
9 dice. It would be 9 dice against 6. So it would be a little in Aaron's favor.
Why didn't you make him re-roll a focus result as well?
Yeah. You can't get greedy with Zuckuss like that. It really isn't working for you. And that's the thing. Like, even if you're like very greedy with Zuckuss and always trying to roll Zuckuss 1, there's almost a half chance.
There's a reason why. There we go.
Yeah, like half the time it'll work, half the time it won't. So, like, splitting the difference.
See,
on the
you've
focuses.
done damage when you. See, that's what I would say.
Yeah, but look how many stress you had to take to
Yeah,
do it.
what I mean is, I'd go the other way in that this is being greedy with Zuckuss is doing that, and that's how you have to play it. Being conservative with Zuckuss, saying, "Oh well, if I make him re-roll this 1."
Well, I was looking at that as being the greedy play because he wants to take as little stress as possible while still doing the 1 point of damage.
But
he's
it's
greedy
a
in the sense
conservative in the movement phase.
Yeah,
I'm being greedy, and I don't care about actions or movement anymore. I'm just going to Zuckuss you off the table, and I feel like that's how you get the most value out of that 1 point.
Yeah, the phrasing I was using was to imply it was trying to be greedy in that you were trying to get away as little as stress as possible.
Yeah.
Basically, expending minimum effort to get maximum result.
So was that damage onto?
1 damage on Whisper, so Whisper's down to just Hull.
Yeah.
You mean Echo? Yeah.
Nobody uses Echo.
She's my girl.
Yeah, how does Jill feel about that?
She's cloaked, so she can't tell.
Good answer.
Oh, 10 minutes remaining. Well, 11 minutes remaining. So
Yeah, but this one is pretty much in the books, barring a choke from Jax on a lucky shot.
oh,
I would be looking to bring the Paylaw back and hope to like just TLT Jax off the board with only that 1
you
left.
TLT on. The options you have now. So the way Ian wins this game is if he stalls to be only 1 more combat phase, manages to somehow force Jax to re-bump, die to a pursuit laser, and then TLT Whisper Echo off the table. With pure Zuckuss greed.
If he hard ones and rolls back, he should be able to block, depending on what Aaron decides to do with Jax.
Yeah.
But with Aaron right now, is Jax stressed?
Yep, he did a 1. Didn't. He went for a 1 hard, which didn't clear his stress.
I'd grab the hard 2 out of Jax because it's really impossible to block.
Hard 2 it'd have to move
Hard 2
backdraft
right.
first.
Yeah. He would.
one and barrel rolling, one hard and then barrel rolling back down would bump into backdraft first. So yeah, that should be impossible to block. I think
Yeah.
because the position would be here.
Get up and take a look.
Yeah, it'd have to finish touching backdraft.
Yeah, I think it would be
Which
technically
is
possible,
what-
but improbable.
No, because when backdraft moves, the
Backdraft
one
moves that
should yeah. That should be impossible to block.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going for paylob. I feel like that's not the right choice. Unless you can get in range 1 of paylob, in which case it's genius
He's
play.
only got 2 health left. He took a direct hit.
Yeah.
He's only got 2 health
Oh,
left.
yeah, I forgot that massively improbable backdraft shot.
Yeah, like Aaron just had the turn of I win now because your green dice suck. Like, I honestly feel like for a lot of this game, Ian has been outflying him.
Well, that's what Ian's good at. Unfortunately, he's gone really,
He
really
just-
deep into the
Yeah, he
blocking
just,
control arc, which is really, really new to. Like, this list is even less damage output than
he
his
sacrificed too much firepower to bring in Fen, I think. Like, Fen is potentially a lot of burst, but overall,
Yeah.
I think he's less firepower because he's also easier to remove.
Yeah, he's got a really, really good spike
Potential.
damage potential, but
Yeah. Yeah, if you can get Fen into range 1 with a target lock and a focus pass from Manaru, he can burst some things out of the game.
yeah.
But you see, this is also a fairly like greedy play out of the Hawk. He's trying to clear the stress. I don't know. Like,
I would have.
There's 8 minutes
I
in the
suppose.
game. I
Then
don't
again,
think so.
it might not necessarily clean the stress. It's a slow move,
Yeah.
so you're not closing the distance to make sure you've got TLT shots.
yeah, that's also reasonable. But I would have like,
The problem is you want arc just in case.
yeah, just in
You-
case Fel comes cruising in,
Kano.
or yeah, Jax. That's why you use the red interceptor, so we can tell, because there's only 2 viable interceptors. One's red and one's not. Logic.
Which one of those is Fel's Wrath?
The one in your dreams. Your twisted, twisted dreams.
Oh no, I thought you meant he was bumping.
Oh dear.
And just token up Jackson to stop giving him points.
Focus evade.
Oh, everything can take it. Oh. I don't think he'll be up. I'm sure if I'm still
So remembered the can't take the action, never mind spend the token.
Yeah. Well, if Jax moves away, then you might be able to spend the token. Although,
But if you couldn't
yeah,
take the token.
he could get it. And that's the problem. That's
Oh,
what costs him.
that surprised me. I did not expect that from Aaron.
Yeah, well, he really wants a piece of Manaru, I guess.
Well, that's good, because that means he gets a randa shot onto Paylob, which is all he needs apparently. Oh yeah, gets agreed.
Yeah.
2 hits,
That's 2 crits
crits.
to Hull for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, the camera angle on the dice is a little bad.
1 hit,
but-
2 crit. Blinded.
Blinded and stunned.
Yep.
Oh boy.
my front turn, so I will never trigger the ability the rear.
This should be a dead Manaru.
Yeah, 2 dice with an auto crit. Yeah, should be pretty good. Well, it was only 2, so she might actually get out of this for free. Nope.
And now to see if he can actually spawn tabling Ian.
Really?
It's range 3, you have
Hit crit crit.
2 whole and you have focus and spend.
Well, he could live.
Hit crit crit, yeah, it's fine.
He could live.
Or you have focus.
Oh,
Yeah. Can we actually get out of that without taking damage?
yeah.
Huh,
Spent the
figures.
focus.
Yeah. No, he TLT's
Well-
back because that's the only play.
Yeah. Who'd you TLT? I personally TLT Echo.
For spite.
It puts me closer to winning
Yeah.
because you've got auto thrusters, evade, focus
Yeah.
on
Not gonna
Drax,
happen.
whereas in you can just. So you, whereas in if you
Exactly like that,
Zuckus against Echo,
Yeah, what's it gonna do?
just misplay by Ian really. Because
Well, he's not used to having to win in the shooting phase.
I think no matter.
I will make you re-roll anything. Oh, it doesn't
I still have auto thrust in I literally anything like
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's literally impossible to hit
So-
some results. So
five dice on Echo against unmodified against Zuckus is more likely to take damage than shooting at Jax with auto thrusters, focus, evade.
yeah,
So
as I said, he's not used to having to win in the shooting phase.
wrong.
3
choice.
minutes left, by the way.
Okay, I feel like you definitely want to swoop backdraft off the table.
I don't think you can. As much as you would, even if you really, really would like to, I don't think you can.
So he's going to decloak forwards and run away now. Oh, is he going to do a hard one into the Hawk?
I think he just wants a piece of the
Oh,
hawk now.
Ian's suddenly started moving quick now.
Well, Ian doesn't really have much left to do. He's too stressed to do action, so it's just...
Actions,
Oh, no.
smactions, he needs them, man.
Yeah, this...
This is where the
This is where
primary
Paylop
arc
dies
shots
horribly.
from backdraft win you a game.
This is where Paylop just dies.
Like, remember, he can't steal all of the focuses.
Yep. He's only going to have the one. You can have an evade, and
Do you take the evade or do you steal a focus? I'd steal a focus.
over 4 dice? Yeah, the evade is probably better. Oh, actually, the Phantom's going to be shooting. I might take a focus just because it's more statistically useful. I don't think it's going.
I don't think
it's going to
it's going to
functionally
live.
matter.
No.
I don't think it's a practical concern.
I think that once Callus kills his ship, you should be able to pick another ship. Just be really spiteful with Callus. Yeah, this one, oh, it's dead now. No, this one, it's dead now. This one.
Bonus bite.
See? Major explosion into structural damage.
And that's dead.
And he's very dead.
Let's use the title for the first time in the game.
He just major explosion to do a kill.
Oh, it's a direct hit. Use the title anyways.
So that was a shot at Whisper. Roll your evade dice. Oh dear.
Yeah.
That was nice and weird.
100 to 0.
I actually did not mean to go.
Well, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll wrap that game up and see if we can get another. Yeah, so we've got Ian playing against Walter in this game. Ian running his Fenrau, Paylop and Manaroo list. And then Walter is running an interesting Imperial list, taking quite a lot of older upgrades now. So you have the Sutnia Fell, PTL, Stealth Device, Auto Thrusters, Royal Guard, Imperial Calf Scarlet with Experimental Interface, Marksmanship, Mangler Cannon, and Rebel Captive. And then we have...
Good old Academy pilot.
Yep, the good old Academy pilot.
Indeed. The thing is, we haven't seen Walter in a few months. I think he's been out of town,
Yep.
and I don't think he's actually been playing a whole lot lately.
No, I've not played against him, so I'm pretty sure he's relatively new compared to Ian.
Actually, Walter was around before Ian was. It's just
Oh,
that
just
Walter hasn't been playing a lot.
It didn't go hardcore on it like Ian did.
No. Walter showed up at a few tournaments like a year or two ago, and
So it would have been why I was away in Cold Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and when
Okay.
you weren't around, and
Oh, sad times.
well,
I still don't feel like I'm around. Now that I'm back, I'm still not playing as much as I did before I left.
yeah, but you're commentating at least. You're at least involved in the game now.
That's true.
Walter was not one of the strong players when he was here.
Yeah. So, trial by fire. Oh, turn the dice cam off for now.
This is going to be one of those games where we'll see if Ian's list can actually punch through a relatively
Yeah.
rusty player, for lack of a better term. I think. I don't
think
believe Walter's been playing a lot.
It'll
He's been
depend
gone,
how
so.
well Walter can use Fel. If he lets Ian have his way with him with Manaru, it can end badly. If not, it should be fine. Calf should really annoy Fenro,
Yeah.
because that'll be double stress.
Yeah. Either you can cancel it or you can take it. Not a good choice for Fenrau. Extra stress or death.
Yeah.
Neither is a good choice.
So
This
what
is
do
a
you
good
think?
ace killer calf.
You evade EI into marksmanship.
That would be my bet. Or target lock into it.
Oh yeah, if you want to go super offense, yeah, I see that.
It will depend on the setup, I think. Because you're kind of wanting to generate a hit and a focus.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pretty much almost always taking the evade on the fire spray,
Yeah.
just because
It
it
really
really,
helps the longevity.
yeah, it really adds to the survivability.
Really makes them obnoxious to deal with as well. And this one is really going to depend on who Cass manages to stress and how well Walter manages to fly Fel.
Yeah,
It's been a while, so I don't recall if he's ever flown Fel before.
it could.
But it's
I've
been a
been
while,
back and
so.
forth on Fel, on how much skill you actually need to use him.
I feel like the thing is he has a fairly low skill floor, but he has a fairly high skill ceiling.
Yeah, I feel like without Palpatine, the skill floor goes up a decent amount.
Yeah. Palpatine is a get out of jail free card.
Get out of jail Fel card. Oh, so funny.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd like to think so.
I don't have to. I just do think so. Oh dear.
And I'm sure you like that.
What do we have? So, in messing around with his binder, I'm assuming he's not changing his waist, probably just tidying stuff away.
Yep.
And then Ian Styles down. It looks like Walter's planning his moves.
The thing is, I think Walter may have been out of the game long enough that what Ian even has on the table is completely unfamiliar to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's looking at.
So hopefully he brings Fel wide right to the top of the table. If Fel turns in, it could be horrible and over
Yeah.
quickly.
yeah, this academy should not be turning.
Oh, the academy, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Go learn to fly.
Go away, little academy. Nobody cares about you. I would not have rolled that way.
And we have Ian's crap. Yeah, so Manaru is still the lowest pilot skill. Didn't swap them around. So the adaptability of them both up again. Or both down, I suppose. It's still irrelevant.
Unless he wants to swap them, there's not really much
Yeah.
point in it.
They either both go the same way
Or they swap.
or they swap. And to be honest, I'm struggling to think of when Palob moving before Manaru. Before you've started the game, I don't know why you would want it that way. I know it's a 0 point upgrade, so it's not really an issue.
Yeah, in this case, it's really just there to help him, like, spend no points and get a pilot skill bump.
Yeah.
And I really think that's all it needs to be in this list. If he really wants to be able to get a block off on something at skill 4, then he might
Do you want to know
it,
what actually bothers me? I would have probably put it just on Palob or just on Manaru.
so that you could make them the same.
Yes.
I can't argue with that. I mean, it's something I've been thinking about. Because of
Uh,
having them both have it, it's like, yeah, you can make them both 5 and 6, but then you can never make them the same.
Yeah.
Who would you cut it on, though? Manaru?
I feel like having Manaru being able to go before another Manaru with anti-pursuit lasers is better. So you can drag her down lower to be the blocker that you want her to be. And I feel like that's more valuable than being able to take Palob up to 6 so that he goes simultaneously with Vessery. Because I don't feel like that's much benefit.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, also, going down to skill 3, if you have the initiative, you can block jump masters.
Yeah.
Of course, in that case, the jump master player is probably not going to let you have it, but if they're also at 100, it'll be a coin flip, so...
So the Moldy Crow train has started. Back to a planning phase. So this is what I was talking about. The fact that Fell's turned in already implies that it's going to be a straight up joust for the initial pass, which I'm not a fan of against Ian's list, because if you, as good as he'll let you set up that initial engagement, because Ian does sometimes suffer from the fact that he'll let people get a really strong initial engagement, and then especially against this specific list, if that engagement explodes Fenro, then unlucky the game is practically over. Speaking of Fenro, I should probably give him some shields back.
Some health back, rather. Oh, yeah, I didn't change the health back.
Yeah.
Got that part. But, the thing is, Ian is really good at predicting what people do coming out of a joust.
Yeah, that's what I
And
was.
that's why it works for
That's
him.
what I was alluding to. Is that
Yeah.
you get to you get that one good pass that he'll let you set up, and after that it becomes extremely difficult.
Yeah.
If you chose to go for that, it'll tempt you in with this really favourable joust. That if he then weathers, you're screwed up for 3 or 4 turns. If you can outplay him, if you can't outplay him, you're screwed for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So don't take the bait.
Yeah.
Don't joust it.
Unless your list is actually powerful enough to make him regret it.
Yeah.
And that's really rare. in
Well,
this day and
it's
age.
not even so much that. It's you still have dice involved.
Yeah.
So unless you've got a heck of a lot of faith that you can get all of the modifiers to, you know what I mean?
I think I might actually be content to do it with my Onk's Flight list, because
Yeah.
that's 3 stealthed defenders that he can't block. And they have Focus of 8.
Yeah.
and that is enough. Like that's 3 dudes with 4 green dice and tokens that he will have difficulty punching through, and it's enough red dice to make his 2 agility ships regret it. It's quite possible they could take the Hawk or even Manaru off the table.
Yeah. So
And they can K-turn behind, so it's a lot harder to block them.
take the evade here for this academy.
Yeah, that is what I would do here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
that academy is going to get shot.
Yeah.
And that focus token is not likely to do him a lot of good. Like statistically, over the multiple dice rolls, I think a focus may be better, but
I feel like
at a longer range,
either one's a good. There's no horrible choice.
No,
Because if
either token is fine.
if everything shoots at you,
Nobody's shooting at anybody else, but that's
Yeah.
only really relevant if the other 2 manage to come in.
Yeah.
But the way he's playing this is implying to me that he's probably going to grab like a 4 straight out of Cath and a 5 out of Fel, because from what little I can recall, Walter was never a particularly patient player, so he is he is going to
that
absolutely
calf
accept
is
the joust.
not a passive calf scout.
Not really, no.
That's an aggressive calf scout.
That is a Cath Scarlet that really wants a piece of you.
And it's a main piece right in the middle that
Yeah.
she's going to crit off the table.
Yeah. It's actually especially dangerous against this list because this list has very little shields.
Yeah. That's true, calf. Mangler calf with marksmanship is going to be fun.
Yeah, if either you're going to be taking piles of crits or you're going to be stressed out of the game.
And this is the type of X-Wing I really enjoy. It's it doesn't matter. I'm never going to see this calf scout on the top table at Worlds, but the fact that I get to commentate on it now is what actually makes me happy.
Well, the thing is, it's an interesting build. Like you can see the obvious appeal of it, but you can also see the obvious drawback. So the question is, will it perform?
Yeah.
Will it do hilarious things to somebody?
So
And that's the interesting part.
just marksmanship there.
Yep. Oh, I think he may have misunderstood his thing.
So it's just marksmanship, no experimental interface.
Yeah, I
no.
think Walter's just explaining marksmanship because I don't think Ian's ever actually seen marksmanship on the table.
Ian, he put a focus token on the ship to remind him that he had marksmanship.
That's why. Okay.
Ian then said that he'd rather he didn't use the focus token,
Yeah.
just so he
Okay.
can remember. I normally just put the upgrade card down.
Yeah. Yeah. I generally basically steal the tap mechanic from Magic and use that. Like turning a card sideways is a reminder, but it's
I
not
like
in the game
having-
field, so
Again, people
Yeah.
are all different. I
Yeah.
like having this stuff on the actual gaming table so that everyone can see it.
yeah, I like the tokens on the gaming field, and in fact the rules explicitly say you have to put the tokens on the gaming field.
Yeah. Oh dear.
But for the
So-
upgrade cards, like, yeah. I just tap it so I'm not moving the card around all the
Yeah.
time, but like
And
putting it
then
in the game field.
Fel is
Unfortunately, I don't think Cat's going to get anything out of it this round.
no. I wouldn't even if I'd take an evade with Fel just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. So he definitely wants to try to get some more shooting.
Yeah. I don't think that's correct for him right now, but because that also puts him in a really awkward position for Fel next turn.
Yeah.
Because that rock is right there for the hard to. This is what I meant by Walter is an impatient player. He will rush ahead and do this sort of play, even when I don't think it's the best play. Like, and I don't believe this is I don't believe this is enough payoff to make the aggression worth it.
I will see if he gets 3 hits. You know.
Dice happen.
But you do have the option with Fel here that he could just go for next turn. Now, again, this involves what Ian's going to do, but knowing Ian, Ian will focus really hard onto Fell with Manaru, do a hard one, and then barrel roll to try and block Fell, which just opens him up to get absolutely gang raped by Calf. And, you know, it's pretty strong terminology, but I think that this Mangler Calf does horrible things to people.
Or potentially. I mean, generating so many automatic crits is going to be really, really painful for anything. Well, who's fell shot on Manaru?
Get the dice cam. And dice cam brought to you by Rolling Skulls. Yay.
Yeah.
Why is there only 2 dice there? Am I missing something?
Because you can't see it. It's,
can't see the third
it's not
one.
a perfect setup there.
Oh,
I don't think we checked it. I can go and adjust the dice cam real quick.
no, it will be okay. I don't
Like,
think.
I think if we
gonna
tilt it down a little bit, we should get the bottom of the field there.
Yeah.
Just because, like, there's the top there. So I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that. real
I'll
quick.
give
Very
you a
slight
thumbs
adjust.
up.
I was gonna adjust that slightly. That should be better.
It's better. We get more of a shot there.
Yeah. And now he knows there's a turret. That tells us Walter hasn't really been playing this wave, or last wave.
Doesn't know Jump Masters has a turret, boards extremely well for Ian.
Well, he does now.
Come on, Academy Pilot. I really want this Academy Pilot to live through everything.
Well, he has his whole future ahead of him. He's going to the academy.
Yep, keep shooting at Manaru. Range 3. 2 dice unmodified. Nothing. That's fine. The Academy's still alive. I'm really so happy that the Academy Pilot took 0 damage there.
The whole point of the academy in this list is just to be annoying and beat
Yeah.
him. And the thing is, I would actually rush forward
5
and stop
forwards.
Manaru. I would rush forward to stop Manaru from doing the block, but that's because I know what Ian does, and I know what...
I would actually do a 3 bank to a right to stop Manaru from blocking Fell.
That's what I meant, like rush
But-
forward and like try and block him.
But
Try
I
and block
feel
Manaru's
like
block.
if you're not used to Ian, doing the 4 forwards is probably a likely move.
I don't believe they've ever played before. Maybe once or twice. I don't believe they've ever really played before. Walter may have been the very first Player of the Year event. I honestly cannot remember. It has been a while.
So it looks like Greg has planned an X-Wing event for a Sunday as well, which means that I don't work Sundays anymore. I could come down and play in the Hangar Bay tournament.
But will you?
It depends. I might just stay in bed, you know.
Sleep.
Yeah, enjoy my time away from work.
That's the 23rd. Is World still going on?
The 23rd?
Yeah, is that the finals?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's the final. I don't know where the finals are being held. Is it Chicago? If they host them in Chicago, do you think they'll do them on a normal server, and because they'll have 0 ping anyway?
Yeah, I think the quarters are then. I mean, obviously we're finishing up groups today.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's-
yesterday when this goes out. This is coming from the
fair enough.
future.
Oh, spooky. When you're watching this, you will know if Cloud9 advances. If you care.
Everyone wants Cloud9 to advance.
I don't.
How
They're
can you not want...
Their
I mean-
04 week last year
Oh,
was
yeah.
was delightful to me. I mean, this
they've
year they've
won
got
games.
Impact,
I
and I
think
kind
that-
of want to see Impact go down in flames against his old team.
He talks about I want Impact to win Worlds again. Okay, so we're still looking at dials going down. It's
Walter has
Fenrir.
no idea how to approach this, I think.
No, it's Fenro style for Ian and Fell style for Walter. I feel like because of the positionings you've put yourself in, doing the 3 forwards, maybe the 4, and just looking to break off.
Potentially. No, that's interesting.
Ian, remember there's no stress token on Fell. Oh, sorry, there is. I couldn't see it. Yeah, I couldn't see it on the camera. Yeah. Yeah.
There will actually not be any League of Legends on the 23rd because the semifinals will be Friday, Saturday. So
I have no excuse, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Oh, I'll have to make some terrible, terrible lists. I'm going to make one really, really atrocious list and one really, really good list. And when everyone picks a list to counter a good list, I'm going to play the atrocious one and beat them.
Yeah, that
cunning.
sounds like you.
Cunning.
Low cunning.
I'm going to take 4 T65s. No one will see it coming.
I'm thinking defenders and Y-Wings.
You know, you could do 4 BZ as one of your lists. And people will be that like, oh, I've got to take the list that counts 4 BZ. Because if he picks that and I've taken the one that doesn't counter it, I'm dead.
Yeah, there is that. I may just take 3 defenders and 4 Y-Wings.
I'll take 3 defenders and 3 jump masters.
I don't know if I want to do jump masters right now.
You're never going to play them. You're going to take 3 defenders all the time.
Defenders. I do love my defenders. Well, yeah, 3 and 3. There's a symmetry there. Yep, there's the turn in.
Yeah. This is exactly what I was saying.
TIE Fighter K turned.
That's
I
fine.
like
it still blocks. It's a 4K
Well,
as well.
blocks Ben, but...
Yeah, the 3 bank would have been the right move, but that's only because I know what Ian's going to do before he does.
At this point, I think we all know that Ian is going to try to block.
So
at least those of us who have been
this
watching him play.
might be a barrel roll from the Hawk. No.
Range 1 primary on the TIE Fighter. You know you want it.
Well,
Not really, no.
I have a feeling. So it's taking a target lock. You'll have to mark off Manaru. It's too close to try and eyeball those lines. So is that target lock in, Ian? Takes another focus action. Okay, so no, you've got to just explode Manaru. Come on, let's go for Manaru. Do it.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. This just seems kind of...
Oh, Ven's gonna drop in front. Yeah, that's what you want. You're gonna get shots at Manaru, so just explode her. Marksmanship, yeah.
Marks.
Target lock and marksmanship. Living the Wave 1 dream.
Back when people still somehow thought it was good. Yeah. Oh, look, it's Greg. Let's make fun of him because he's on the clock now.
Yeah.
Fancy thing with like antenna
Yeah. So,
Radio mics on.
I
yes,
don't know,
we do.
even know if it's picking you up.
It won't be. These are good. These ones are okay actually, but one of them's not working properly. Keeps dropping out, so I'll have to get in touch with them and get a replacement. Yeah, well, still spent like $500 on all the stuff I needed. Look at the Calf Scarlet, man. Experimental
Wave.
interface.
Well, not the
That's
Wave
some
1
shit.
Dream because of
Mangler,
EI, but
Rebel Captive. Oh yeah. Take the stresses.
all the stresses.
Blocked Fen. The Academy pilot blocked Fenro. Genius play.
Did he target lock Fen or Manaru? Manaru, right?
Is this for me to price up?
No, this is our demo.
Oh, we got it back. Alright, cool.
I was almost done with the good guys.
So,
Gotta finish them, but don't bring this stuff.
so you want me to get the Age of Sigmar stuff painted?
Is that something that you would...
Yes, I'll get them done.
Oh, that brings back memories. I'm working on that same crap.
Yeah.
Well, the Academy successfully blocking isn't too bad. This is a really interesting position. I mean, Fell managed to actually squeeze around there, so
Yeah,
this is a really interesting spot. Fen's only really going to be able to attempt to shoot Kath, and I don't know if he wants to do that.
yeah. So no focus for Fel because Paylob's a thing.
Oops. Mr. Token Theft.
Well, it's one of those. The situation is you can either steal a token, you can stress yourself to get 2 tokens and still have one, or not have any because, oh no, look at that, Paylob's got a focus. It's going to have focus for a long time now. Him gaining it's irrelevant. So as long as you're taking the focus action to give yourself a focus, I feel like it's a fair trade. Alrighty then, we have.
Yeah, that's not unreasonable. Okay.
we
Is Fen
have-
even going to want to shoot? Would you take the shot?
Pardon?
When you only have a range 3 shot at Kath with a captive, would you take the
Well,
shot?
I've got a feeling that Ian's going to make the error because he won't be thinking about Rebel Captive.
He's measuring. Here we go.
So, have you not got Rebel Captive? See, Rebel Captive is a must, not a may. So I'll happily chip that into the rules. If it was a may, I'll happily let people forget and then mock them for it. But I will try not to let people cheat. Oh, sorry. I will let people actively cheat and then catch them on film.
I was going to say, well, what about Pat?
I don't think so much Pat's a
I know.
dirty cheater as he is, just bad at the game. Oh dear.
Are you hoping he watches this?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
You've got, what'd you go for? If you've got Manaru, do you take a range 1?
I would just to try and punch
You've got
Manaru
the
down.
target lock on Manaru from Calf, so you've got to.
Yeah, I would just to try and punch Manaru down here.
Yeah.
Because
It's-
honestly,
The really good
Eden's
thing
list is one
here-
of those lists that falls apart when it starts losing ships very
Yeah.
quickly.
The problem he has now, it's not like his old 4-ship list where he could lose the Headhunter. Any one of these ships goes down and all of the synergies slowly fall apart. Well, sorry, very quickly fall apart.
Well, even with his old list, he could lose most of the ships and the synergies would still stick around. Part of it was it was just a lot of health and a lot of obstruction. That was why it was strong. This one doesn't have anywhere near as much obstruction, nowhere near the health count.
No.
I mean, it basically gives up a Y-wing of health.
Yeah.
And
That's
it even
true.
has a little less firepower in terms of like sustained grindy firepower. I mean, it has better burst, but a lot less grindy firepower. Like the one advantage to having the extra ship
So-
and the BTL TLT,
So this is range 1 at Manaroo from Fell. 2
Ooh.
hits and a crit.
reasonable. Pretty good.
So 1 shield gone. And now we get the calf. I'm so excited. I want like 15 stress from this one shot.
It's only going to be 2.
Shh, don't ruin it for me. You could
2.
naturally roll a crit.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh no,
At
then
range
it'd only
2.
cancel 2, yeah, so the most it can be.
Yeah, it'll only ever cancel 2.
Oh, it's obstructed. It's taking the obstruction, so it can cancel all 3. Triple stress. Mangler. It does matter. It does. Because it's Calf Scarlet. So if you block crits, you take stress.
Yeah, the pilot ability makes the Mangler relevant.
Look at this. Nobody knows what Imperial Calf does.
Yep. So you receive a stress token if you cancel any crits.
Okay, so
Nope.
2 more shields.
So they
down.
all just hit. Okay.
So
Well, that's actually probably an okay outcome. No stress.
well,
It's too bad Kath can't
still
multi-stress with her
3.
ability.
It's still 3 shields down.
Yeah. There's that. He actually canceled the kit.
Yeah.
So
So he took the 2 crits on the shields.
it's too bad Kath can't multi-stress.
Yeah.
It would be amazing if she could.
You could have. See, what you could do is get really greedy and re-roll your hit. In that case,
Yeah.
if you've got 2
I wouldn't
hits and
do
a
it.
crit, would you re-roll both hits?
I wouldn't.
With-
Not in this situation.
marksmanship?
When it's only going to hit shields. If it was against Hull, I would seriously think about it. Especially with marksmanship and Mangler cannon. Yeah, I would.
So. And Zucker succeeds. That was the Academy pilot.
Was that just the primary?
Primary with
A primary
Palov killed him in 1 shot.
primary hawk shot kills.
Oh, poor Academy. Poor
There you go.
Academy.
See, it's living the dream. Living the hawk dream earns Ian 12 points.
That was actually a very tragic end for him.
That's a well-earned 12 points.
I said
to
that was a
Hawk
tragic
primary.
end for the Academy pilot because, come on.
And now he knows.
And how much will he learn from this experience?
How much will the rest of the Academy learn?
Oh, come on. They're a propaganda machine over there. You really think that they're going to tell the rest of the Academy how this poor bastard went down?
Yep. They're gonna lie and say that the Hawk has like the B-wing weapon from Rebels.
It has a super turbo laser. Yeah. And we are back to dials.
Yep. So no stress on Manaroo, which was a shame. So disappointed. So the left swoop.
Probably, yeah.
Fenro just drifting straight at Calf.
Yeah, I would go for a fairly conservative maneuver out of Fen because you can probably run in there and smack Kath around pretty good.
In fact, what are the greens? It's
What would you do with Kath though? Because that asteroid is blocking
one bank.
best.
Because I've still got a rear arc if you go past me.
That's actually a reasonable maneuver.
Because that clears my stress, because it's basically an X-Wing dial, but on a large base, I believe.
Something like that.
I think it's a K. It's got an extra K turn, I think. Has it got a 3 and a 4?
I honestly forget.
Oh. I know that it's almost exactly the same. It might even be exactly the same as the X-Wing dial.
The only thing is, like, it's a large base ship, so it's a little more
Yeah.
awkward.
Fire spray should always one bank.
It's not unreasonable here, honestly. Like, one banking in, I think it's going to be like towards the
You'll
bottom
get
of the
to
table.
shoot at something.
Yeah.
1 forwards, 1 bank, and 2 forwards. Ian, it's 1 forwards, 2 forwards, and 1 banks. It's basically an X-Wing dial. I'm sure Ian did buy the cards that tell you what all the moves are for all the ships, but they're now out of date again because, you know, FFG making more plastic crack.
Yeah, they're always printing more stuff. That's always the downside of those things. Like, it's you constantly have to keep up. It only works for a few months, but, well, that's always true.
Disappointed you didn't come down to the Team Yankee Iron Maiden release day yesterday. Could have got to play with some real tanks, you know. We gave away a painted British Army for Team Yankee. Took me a week to get them painted.
Yesterday I was just reminded why I don't heal pugs. It's like, oh look, here is a boss with ads. All you really need to do is DPS. Just kill the ads. None of them die. Continue to AoE the entire group. It's like, why? I can't heal you all, you stupid bastards. Chain heal only has so much range.
That's because you're playing WoW, and that's why, you know, you fail at life. So all the WoW players out there, that includes you. You know, if you want to play a real MMO like EVE Online, that's the only acceptable MMO where you can actually make people have real life tears.
Yeah, about that.
See,
At this point, it's not really worth trying to get into EVE. Because you will have nothing, and someone with everything will come and take all what little you have. Because they can.
oh, but you start playing now, and you infiltrate a corp, and in like 5 years' time, you take everything, and then just like give it away for free, and destroy alliances. Tens of thousands of actual dollars worth of stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, about that.
Everyone loves internet tiers. They're the best. Oh, I think we're just waiting for Fenrose style, which I have no idea what the green is for this one.
All the 2s are green, as well as the 3 forward. Remember, it only has 6 greens.
So it's going to do.
Twos and
It's
three.
going to do a 2 bank then.
Probably.
He's going to probably 2 bank into calf.
I don't know, he might do the 2 straight, just because he's feeling spicy.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to find out.
Then again, if he's planning on getting all of the actions with Manaru, he could just
Do
keep the
this.
stress.
Yeah, but I think actually the 2 bang is actually a pretty good maneuver in this position, because the hard 1 isn't really that great. You know? I think he's just seeing where the 3 would have gone. I think he was worried about clipping it.
The 3 definitely cleared.
Yeah. I think he was just concerned that it would push him like far enough that he would... Remember what we were saying about forcing mechanics?
I don't see that as being that useful at all.
I think he's trying to block Kath off from doing her obnoxious marksmanship trick.
But you want to get past calf, so
Yeah.
you can't use a mangler.
Yeah.
So
Well,
slowing.
he can get past next turn.
Yeah.
And it stops it from doing this turn. Hopefully Fen can knock some shields off, I guess. I think that's what he's playing for here.
Yeah.
Thing is, this does open up Fel to come tuck in right behind them. And Fen does not like having a 3-dice ship right behind him in range 1.
No. Oh, that's it. That move looks like it blocks her too hard, but Fel's probably dialed in anyway.
Yeah, possibly.
You take the target lock onto Calf here with Balob. Is the correct play. You should have been shooting everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to have a chance to shoot Fel this turn
No.
with Paylob. That's just not going to happen. Either there's going to be a collision or he's just going to sit there at range 1.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
I would have definitely gone on to Calf because if you're trying to block, she shouldn't have any actions, which means Zuckus is more effective, which means you want to be doing the maximum you can. Yep. Oh. I feel like that's a misplay by Ian. So anti-pursuit laser takes a shield.
As I said, trying to force the mechanic. Like he's been having pretty poor luck with that APL and he really wants it to work.
That's fine. It's a reasonable enough move. I would have been looking to get out of Mangler range. But
Yeah. It's reasonable. Also, the target lock on Fel is really odd when it looks like he's clearly trying to focus on Calf.
yeah.
Like, you're not gonna... It's not really gonna do a lot against Fel.
There's all that block does now is Walter could no, payable move before. Oh yeah, we got the bank instead of a turn. That's good. Makes him not be able to block. It won't give him a shot, I don't think.
Depends on the angle on that boost roll.
Yeah, you've got to.
This boost roll could do it.
You have to roll back into range 1 of the Hawk because
Yeah.
you don't want to be. In fact, all you're doing now is feeding. No. No. Yeah.
This is one of those games where you don't really want to... Oh, wait, no, he's going for it. He's just putting down the tokens already. That's fine.
Yeah, I was worried. I thought it was pushing to focus.
Oh.
I just place the focus onto payload. Don't even give me the opportunity to forget. Just take it, I don't care. That's how little regard I have for you and your Hawk.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Rebel captive again. And
Only range 2? Oh, no. I just didn't see a dice from my angle. Yeah, there's the 5 dice.
yeah.
That's pretty ugly. That hurts and stings. Good time. So fearless.
Damn, that's painful.
So living the dream.
4 hits, 2 crits.
Yep. Hurts and stings.
5. So
That's going to
the
be all
3
the haul.
hits takes out the shield. And then the 2 crits are.
Oh, that's critical. Blinded.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose it would frustrate me the extremes of Ian's emotions when playing a game, because he's very whiny when things go wrong and celebrates overly much when things go right. I feel like if you're going to celebrate with really good luck, you have to live with the bad luck. if you're gonna whine about a bad luck, you need to be apologetic about a good luck. You can't have it both ways.
I tend to agree.
I don't mind whiny players. I don't mind bragging players.
I don't know. I've always seen it as a little bit of a poor sportsmanship to like celebrate it that much.
Oh, I've properly celebrated in your face. So, the more
What
over
did
the top
you do?
you go,
It was luck. Like when,
Oh.
like, if you outplay someone,
yeah,
sure,
when
but
Aiden
it's-
dialed in a red move with his stressed Jake, in your face, buddy, in your face, off the table, 5 forwards.
Yeah, well, I got
That's
two
when you
of
punish
eight
him.
finally.
Yeah, we were just discussing how you complain about your luck when you just got 6 hits with Fenro. Oh no, I finally rolled double evade. You can't have it both ways, Ian. You either celebrate having the good luck by going, yeah, anti-pursuit laser,
I
or
spend my focus for it.
you can't have it both ways. You can't really celebrate good rolls and then lament average ones.
I'm just saying, I was celebrating. I finally got 2 evades.
Didn't you get 2 evades just like one
Yeah.
combat round to go?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that blinded pilot is really, really going to
that's
cost him.
game changing.
Yeah.
Just like that was still a bad roll. 4 attack dice versus 5 defense dice.
So average, and that works out to be exactly the same probabilities. 4 attack against 5 defense. Sorry, 5 attack. No, 4 attack against 5 defense. Because
Approximately,
there's
yes.
there's more good results on the attack.
Yeah, because you average, like your average is 2 there,
Yeah.
and your average is like your
It's
your
average.
mathematical average is
Yeah.
15 out of 16,
'Cause,
15 out of 8.
Because I remember being that guy whinging about it at Worlds when my current my
15 out of
Jax, my unmodified Jax's my 4 dice attacks couldn't punch through Corrin's 3 dice evades, and it wasn't actually that far outside the bell curve. It just felt like it was. So when you reverse it, it's obviously bang on average.
Yeah, it actually is. Like
yeah.
4 against 5, like there's actually a reasonable chance to do damage on that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the design of this game. Though.
Yeah, because ships are supposed to die.
So it's very. You have 4
That's good.
4 focuses did not hit. Oh, look, it didn't hit. What a surprise, right?
Still make him roll.
Yeah.
So
Always
if
make a roll.
it's
Never just concede it just because it's a long shot. Like if you have nothing better to
he
do.
wouldn't have done the shot with the primary hawk, which exploded the academy pilot.
Yeah, like never concede that. Like this is fundamentally a dice game, and you play to your outs, right?
I suppose.
Same with the CCG.
And
play
if
to
you
your
think
outs.
about it, we've had a direct hit crit to let the hawk one shot the TIE fighter. Then we had the blinded pilot crit to stop Kath from getting to take part this turn.
Yeah, that was a substantial amount of luck. Like counterbalances Fen getting railed by a one shot at range 3, but
Yeah. No, I think. Yeah, that was last game.
Yeah, that was last game.
Yeah, I was
I'm
trying.
not talking
I
about
was
this
going to say, I'm sure Fen's okay.
not this game.
Fel should be able to stick to Fen pretty well, but Kath's going to be annoying. So what I'd look at here is hard twoing out of the fight with Kath. Let's do in fact, it's once I've got the hard 3, haven't they?
Yep. So does the fire spray.
Yeah, so do a hard 3 out of a fight, get your rear arc into play.
Yep.
You can still take your marksmanship action.
Yep.
Um,
What I'd be doing here.
And then, yeah, that's what I would do, definitely. And then Fel can just sit behind Fen and...
Yep, tuck in and chase him down. If Fen Talon rolls, I think Fel's okay with
But
that.
Fen can't Talon roll because he keeps shooting.
Oh yeah,
Rebel
you're right. He's
Captive.
stressed. That's true.
That's how I mean,
Good old Rebel Captive, which everybody forgets about.
Yeah. So then, as long as you keep shooting Fen with Calf, you should keep putting stress on him and not doing damage. But you're okay because Fel should be chipping away. And then you hope that the dice keep rolling around about average for Fel not to take damage for anything else.
You just got to hope that he can actually get something out of Kath, because that was a very crippling round.
Oh yeah, it would. Walter's got
Poor health.
a struggle now, but I need to give Ian the half points for Kath. There we go, that should be right.
It's a very expensive cat there.
Oh, experimental face marksmanship is expensive.
Not to mention the Rebel Captain.
I
on
feel
top.
if
It's a 50 points
marksmanship
gem.
came out now, I don't think it would cost 3 points.
Honestly, look at calculation. Right?
Well, marksmanship is a lot better than calculation because it still modifies all of your...
Yeah, but calculation also requires you to have a focus token, but
Yeah.
it allows you to safely take the focus token.
Yeah.
So I don't think marksmanship would cost more than 2, and quite possibly
think
an
it would.
argument for 1 is there.
I think because it's all of your attacks, I think it would be 2. Because if you price it at 1, although it would be fine on an X-Wing or something, there is abuses of it, like a 1-point marksmanship on the TIE SF.
Or Cavill
Cavalry.
was with a TLT.
Yeah.
Or some. Well, actually, yeah, Cavill with a TLT. Or like just another Y. Anything with a TLT, really.
Yeah.
Like that is useful. Anything that multi-attacks.
So I think 2 points is where it would sit,
Yeah,
where
very
it is
likely.
today.
Honestly, calculation does feel a little overcosted as well. You hardly see it as well, so that's
Yeah.
why I think there's an argument for
It
1, just
only-
because no one uses calculation.
It only appears on 10 num. I've used it
I've
on
seen
10
people
num.
use it on Bosk.
Oh, Bosk's a good one, yeah. I've seen it on Bosk as well, actually, with Rexspec.
Yeah.
Because you still get the focus for your focus, the standard focus, and then you can spend the other one to calculate one of them.
Yeah, if you got like 2 focuses.
Yeah. That Bosk is a nice Bosk. By nice, I mean shitty and horrible.
Kind of like this Kath Scarlet build. When it works, it will be glorious, but it won't
I
work a lot.
played against a guy who won the Lethbridge Star Championship at the Myth Games Star Championship, and he was running that Bosk and a Boba Fett. And I was running the list I played against you, the Ghost and 2 Y-Wings.
Yeah, yeah.
And that Bosk was worrying to that much hull points.
Yeah.
Because you're taking crits, which gets just changed into extra damage.
Well,
So-
looks like Fen just hit Manaru. Well, this could be the end of Kath Scarlet before she shoots.
No. So
Well, Fen's going to shoot her first, so...
Did she not turn?
Nope. Doesn't look like it. I think she went straight. Yeah, your expression there says it all. Too bad we don't have a desk cam right now.
Yeah, that's a shame. I definitely feel like it was the turn to take advantage of a rear arc.
Yeah, there's not forcing the mechanic hard enough, and there's not making use of it at all. I don't think... I think this is Walter's inexperience coming to play.
Yeah, I
Like, he
think
hasn't
it
really
was
played this game
not
lately.
realising that Ian's happy to sit in front of him with the jump master.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a good option. It's like we're part of the protectorate. He couldn't turn Soontir fast enough.
You don't care about Soontir. Soontir bunks into the back of Fen. He still gets to shoot at Manaru. And then... but if Kath does a hard 3, you can't stop her. and then she gets a rear arc, still calculationed. So
Possibly a 3-bank might not even have stopped.
yeah,
Yeah.
glad to see Ian agrees with our assessment.
Yeah. Looks like he can't roll because he tried it. Yeah. Roll boost isn't going to give him anything.
That might
It'll
give
give
him
him
some
position.
shot. It might give him a shot. No.
I don't think it'll
No.
give him. That's why I was saying I don't think it'll give him a shot because it doesn't bring. Because when you boost, it pushes your arc forward as well as turning it.
Yeah. I was more thinking it might have clipped the front of Manaru's base because of the angle of the corner.
Very. Actually, it's possible.
But I think it's just out. There's Fenrow's shot.
One modified, just going to add a hit. Yeah, Walter's just going to
You've
give
got
up.
you've got 18 minutes left to chase soon, dear. It's not worth it.
I don't know. I think a concede is reasonable here
Yeah.
because,
Calf's dead.
Cat's dead. Okay, I guess we're going to try and play it out just for the hell of it.
So he's going to play it out. Soon Tia should be able to get something.
Well-
I'd probably look at trying to cripple Manaru, get some points on the board.
Well, there was that guy who took Just Fell to a tournament. Didn't he go like 2-3?
He won more than he lost. I
Oh, so he
believe.
went 3-2 then.
I think
I
so.
know it was 2 and 3.
I know
I just don't
that
remember whether it
he,
was 3-2 or 2-3.
I know that it's just fell. You know, it's
I know. Like, he won 3 games with Just Fell. Like, literally Just Fell in a 65-point initiative bid.
But you can do that because people are stupid.
Now, like, it's quite possible he just ran into people who are not good at the game, but...
No, what I mean is, if you see just fell, you know what I'd do? I'd castle up in a corner and force bump with my arcs covering. So okay, if you want to take points off me, come at me.
He only needs to kill one.
But that's it. He has to drop in all of your arcs to kill one. So because the problem is people would, and I can see that people would have deployed across the table. And then gone and then fell, just isolate something, kills it, and then bursts past. You've got a K turn or turn around and chase, and oh, I'd hate to play that game.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun. Sounds fun for the Fell player, but I don't know.
For a given given type of fun.
Yeah.
I still would have had 4 dice defense on. I would have had 4 dice defense plus.
Yeah, this is a awkward one.
So, are they playing it out or not?
I don't know. I think they're just chatting about it right now.
Yeah.
Well, let's
So
go pester
I'm
Nick and
gonna-
Bill and see if they're
okay,
up for
so
a game.
we're gonna.
Even if they play it out, I don't think anyone really cares to see it.
Oh no, it's back. Towers back in his hand. So you can go and chase down Bill and Nick, see what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go and see if Bill and Nick are nearly finished.
Yeah.
And then
Fell's move here is pretty obvious, I feel.
I'd do the bank. So I'm expecting Ian to do the hard turn right and then barrel roll to block Fell and try and win the game with his anti-pursuit lasers.
Well, Nick will stick around, so maybe you can get a game over him. Then I can make fun of you.
Yep, that sounds fair to me. So you're only doing the bank. I would have done the hard turn and then barrel rolled into Fell's way.
This gives him okay positioning, I think.
if I was going to be doing a turn or a bank,
Yeah, there's really only those two options there for him. Really?
what about HLC marksmanship? Do you prefer HLC marksmanship to Mangler marksmanship?
It depends on what it's on.
On calf.
Yeah? You really only need one crit?
The Mangler guarantees for a crit, but it's only 3 dice.
Yeah, that's the
HLC
thing.
gives you a 4 dice.
If
To
you
be
wanted
honest.
to use marksmanship, I would use the HLC.
Yeah.
But I'd honestly be tempted to not do that and just have the Mangler.
I'd be more if I was going for this calf build and wanted marksmanship, I wouldn't take any cannon and would take gunner instead of rebel captive.
Yeah, that's also reasonable. I think there's a core of an interesting build there. Like, we never really got to see it pay off just because she got exploded so fast.
It was a blinded pilot.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it was the blinded
and
pilot
the
on top of getting exploded so
yeah,
hard.
and the perfect. I'll take those crits on shields, thank you.
Yeah. Like, it just didn't pay off because of the way the dice shook out as well. I
You
mean,
could do
both
is
crits on
you
shields
could
exactly.
take. Oh, it's a shame.
I mean, it wasn't even, I evade nothing. It was evade exactly enough so that all crits hit shields. And nothing else hits.
The droid that lets you take an EPT, you can't take if you already have an EPT, can you?
I believe that's correct, yeah.
I was thinking about some interesting double EPT arc synergies.
I'm going to double check that. I'm pretty sure you're correct, but...
Yeah, I believe it's got a pilot skill limitation, and you can't take a second EPT. I think you can still take the droid, but you can't take a second EPT with it, I think.
Which is obviously kind of dumb, but...
Or else, right, Wedge might have been
you
good.
cannot equip this upgrade if you already have an EPT upgrade icon or your pilot skill value is 2 or lower. So basically you have to be a rookie or...
No, 2 or lower, so
hobby,
you
or sorry,
can't.
not a rookie, a red or hobby or one of those other named X-Wing pilots without an EPT, which is not a lot of them.
No.
I don't think
Or
Tharn
Horton.
has one. Yeah, or Horton. Or Dutch, actually. Or a Grey
I've
Squadron.
taken that droid on was it Horton? I think it was Horton. I did Horton with a BTL TLT with marksmanship.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't think it's good, but it's funny.
That was in my 10 num calculation list.
So it was funny. Only funny. Nothing else, just funny.
10 num had calculation and a flechette cannon. So it was only ever doing 1 damage, but it was doing 1 damage in stress.
Yeah, that's kind of mean.
And they had a
Cute, I mean.
tactician.
That's nice. And with the timing triggers, that actually does work at range 2 too, doesn't it? Pretty good. I like it. I do like it.
I can't remember what the third ship was. It might have been Dutch.
Shot me with major explosion direct hit. He just went through 5.
So,
And the turnaround.
well, it's not really a turnaround. That is
Not much of a
payload dead.
Yeah. Oh well.
There we go. 32 points.
No, he doesn't have a chance. He's still got a chop through Manaru. It's not going to happen in the 10 minutes.
63. There's only 10 minutes left because we've got a timer, so you can play 10 more minutes if you like, or you can.
Or you can just give up. And
We don't
can call
mind.
Nick over.
I don't want to force you to keep playing if you don't want to. As long as you're having fun, that's okay.
Speaking of other things going to time, we don't have a result from League of Legends yet.
if you kill Manaru, you win. Yeah, and she's got 6 hits left.
But the thing is, I'm not sure when you throw the dice here for defense, you move one of my die. I'm not really sure if that was. No, you had 4. 4 hits. I give them 4 hits and 1 crit, right? No, I had 1 crit.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I wasn't sure because I knew the dice, you moved the die.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure it was a hit or not.
Yeah, just an argument about the dice, but
Yeah.
not a big
So if Walter can kill Manaru, he wins.
But can he? That's a real question.
And you have to remember now, Fel gets to keep his tokens.
That's true. That's very true. What would you do?
So
I would turn in.
I'd tell Ian to stop talking and put his dial down, so that I can kill Manaru.
Best answer.
No, I changed to.
Okay, so
Oops.
so let's dial these points in then. 34, 66 points. Oh dear.
Always play it out.
You know what? Call it tight because I have been calling the game and you won't let me. You know?
I really didn't look at that hard enough.
Oh, at all.
At all.
Oh dear. There we go, guys. So
Always play it out.
that's why you rush your opponent to put the dials down in the hope they just fly off a table. In what's defense?
Once in a
they
while
were still
it
just
works.
chatting.
Once in a while, it works.
Oh, so that's why I couldn't get it.
Yeah, and Ian forgot he has initiative, so he's moving Fen first. So
Yeah,
it's going to be ugly.
it's irrelevant now.
It's basically
They'll
just,
never. They'll never.
yeah, from
shoot
this
at
point
each-
on, you just run away for the rest of the game and win. Like you just token up and just go focus evade, and he can't kill you. He probably
Don't
won't
be at
kill you.
range 1 in arc.
No, if he just turns around, he doesn't get fearlessness. So
Yeah.
just don't shoot back.
You win. You win. Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, guys. I think we're gonna stop the game as Ian's demonstrated how not
basically
to fly.
the recording now, actually. So now we have Chris versus Nick. They're now in the opening phases of deployment. Nick is going to have initiative as he's placing the first one. So Ian will be joining us on the desk for this one as a guest, since Chris wants to be the one being made fun of for once. So what do you have to say about the list, Ian? What do you think?
I don't know. It looks pretty clear to me that Chris already doesn't know what he's doing here.
Well, he is trying to use
Chris,
Sabine.
you made the wrong move already. No. I was just. And
Yeah.
the great news is all Chris's retorts cannot be heard right now.
So what do you think of his attempt to make use of
Let's see,
Sabine
what do we
here?
have? Sorry, I was looking at Nick's list, but
Well, he's got just Bigs with R4D6 and IA to soak up damage. A Guardian Squadron K-Wing, which is skill 4. I'm just going to move that over a tiny touch here. Oh, actually, I'm just going to delete Guardian.
okay. And now, Chris, your skin tone matches the writing, so we're going to need you to change your skin.
It actually doesn't. He's way too pale, and that's a very orange color. I'd be very, very worried if I saw someone with that sort of skin color.
Yeah.
I'd be worried about him dying, but I guess that's not on the minds of Americans since they're going to elect someone that's color.
Thane Carell. Okay, so we got ourselves a lovely little arc fighter.
Yep.
And which is his
Munitions.
ability?
Thane is the one who can take actions when you shoot at somebody else when you're in his arc.
Oh, yeah. I thought that one sounded like it's got a certain appeal to it.
It's kind of cute with Biggs.
Yeah. So what do we have here? We got Guardian. The Guardian is the pilot skill.
4 K-Wing.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There you can see the
underneath.
pilot skills there, so it's just the K-Wing.
I was thinking the other day about putting vector thrusters on a K-Wing. And the reason I don't know if it's got any merit to it. It's just I was shocked at how good it did on a Hawk. I'm like looking at what else it could actually be really good on.
Anything that has a TLT on it, it allows you to control the range on it a lot better because you can shift either way fairly effectively.
And does he have a TLT on there?
No, this one doesn't. This one's a bomber.
What the deuce? With Jan Ors, wow.
Yeah, so it can pick up a evade token so it doesn't die horribly, I guess.
It should be interesting to see if there's some combos. I'm going to
Yeah.
pull up my own things here.
Well, Chris is basically just set up to go bomb people and hope that Biggs soaks up enough firepower that he can bomb people. Nick is set up to be, well, Shadowcaster Disruption. And then use Zuckus to smack things around.
EPTs and K-Wings, do they have any?
Nope,
None of them? Not
none
even?
of them.
Oh, wow.
Not one.
Well, that kind of sucks for... I was just about to say, snapshot. We're looking for a use for it with a bomber. Stop them right in front of you. Oh, wait, no, they don't have the droids anyway, so I'm talking out my...
Nope.
Chris, that was a terrible idea.
Are you just going to say it at random, like every 5 to 10 minutes?
Every time I say something stupid. Chris, that was a terrible idea.
You know he'll be able to watch this before it gets broadcast. You know he'll see this before it goes live, right?
Yeah. That's all right. I think it's pretty obvious.
Well, technically, even with the rebroadcast delay that is unavoidable, technically you will see it before it goes live.
If I can do it if I voted or not is a different matter.
Yeah. Alright. Well,
Oh, so he's using the G1A Zuckus. I'm so used to seeing Zuckus as just a stress generator.
no, he's actually got Zuckus, so I'm going to change the spacing on this one a little. That should work out nicely. There we go. There.
Geez, now that I'm looking at it here, I kind of want to give them my dice to throw in there just to see how hard it really is to read them.
Yeah, I complain about it more than it really is a problem, but Nick's got some, so you'll see. Quick.
Oh yeah, Nick got some. Yeah, he's one of the few others. I mean, I don't recall everyone who got them, but if only
Nope, not yet.
eight of
we
us
are now starting.
got them, and
Well-
a few of us were from at the Calgary regionals, and some of them were from out of town. Paul, I know there's...
Yeah, he's from Edmonton. So.
And there was the other guy who had the creative scum list.
Yep.
But
He was
I-
also from out of town. So.
I'm assuming, since I haven't seen him. And then
No, I played him like...
Chris got his dice and sold them.
Yeah. I drew that guy first round, and I talked to him a bit, and he is from, like, BC, I think. And he's definitely from out of town. He was just in for the regionals. Worth his
Yeah,
try.
I believe he was from BC. I won't comment on why.
Fair enough. We'll leave it there.
It wasn't a slam, just so we're clear.
Did you adapt Zuckus down, Nick?
Sorry?
Did you adapt Zuckus down?
I did.
That's what I thought. So they're both 6.
Yeah, with no need to beat his pilot skill.
Yeah.
Was the logical decision, I think.
I'm taking a bag for Karen.
Yep. He's really making use of Janor's there. He advanced slammed up the board so that he'd be able to get a lot more range.
Then we will.
So this was a 0 chance of overlap for pilot skill.
Yep.
And
So just adapted down to match.
I am looking forward to seeing Asajj Ventress. It's like a lot of people created lists with them, and yet I just haven't seen any of them appear yet. I flew a fun one with the other dude, I guess she's Ketsu Anyo? Wait.
Kitsu Anyo? Yeah. Well, it's a Star Wars name, so pronunciation is largely irrelevant.
Yes, I will just assume I'm saying it right. Yeah.
There's some definitely interesting things you can do with the Shadowcaster. The Lancer's based dial and maneuverability is actually quite high.
Yeah, so Asajj Ventress, she gets to assign her stress when? Right at the start of the combat phase, huh?
Yeah.
And that's range 1 to 2 in the arc. Okay.
In the mobile arc,
Yeah.
mind you. Unfortunately, it's really hard to see where the mobile arc is because of its location on the ship. Sorry?
Pointing backwards at the moment.
Yeah, it's just I'm just saying it's hard to see
Oh, yeah,
because of the way we
so
have the
you gotta-
camera set up.
You get to start it wherever you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
On deployment, you choose where it starts.
Yeah, it's funny because one of the big questions, at least with Ketsu Onyo, was okay, you need to get him in both arcs. So the obvious thing is to leave it in the front, so they're both popping
Yeah.
out the front. The funny thing was the one time I played it, it was like, while that worked really well, the one time when I finally did move the arc, I still managed to land the tie right on the line between both of them. So it's like it's very doable when you think about it, because all you need to do is get your arc line on the fighter. So it's like
Yeah, but that's the real trick.
yeah, so it's like it was surprisingly effective.
Yeah, Asajj's ability only checks the mobile arc, so that's actually less important here.
Yeah. And it's nice that the side mobile arc, the thing to remember is that it's actually a fair bit bigger than the front or back arcs, because these aren't total 90-degree arcs. And yeah, anyone who's played for a while realizes that when you do a hard turn and think it's still going to line up at the same diagonal, there's
Yeah, it's not
there's a little
exactly
ghost
45.
zone. So it's like these side arcs are better potentially by far than the rear arcs, just because they're bigger and you can connect them. So it's like it just makes it fairly easy to keep them in either the front or side.
Yeah, in practice, what a lot of people are doing are, from what I've seen, is actually just switching into a side arc and then just trying to fly alongside the enemy. So yeah, it works. So the approach here is looking like Nick's just going to try and roll straight forwards, and Chris is obviously trying to set up bombs. It's as he's failed to target lock, Chris has an option here of trying to run in and maybe do something next turn, or just stay there out of range. Since he has nothing productive to do all the way over there, well, yeah, he's going to slam.
Three bank out of 12.
So we've got Chris trying to force an engagement over near the center. What do you...
EM.
Sorry?
EM.
Extra munitions.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
What do you think Nick is trying to accomplish here?
Let me see, where is Nick? Oh, that's the K-Wing. That's
Yep.
flown way the heck over there already.
The power of slam.
She's just got a regular gun, no turret at all. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bomber.
I'm just so not used to seeing that. It totally changes the mentality of what are they trying to do? Well, 2 primary weapon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a 2-dice turret, but, well, if you use it correctly, well, you should know full well that it can be good enough. So... So the main thing we're looking at here is Chris is struggling to get to set up the bombs, just because it's going to be always going to be very awkward for a slow maneuvering ship to try and line up a bomb correctly. And because he's taken all action effects, like he does have the ability to grab a turn and fling them out, but right. And here's the first shot. Well, hit crit naturally. Base is going to take 2. That's a pretty good start. Long range shot, already stripping big shields.
R4D6.
R4D6 is the one where you can stress yourself to cancel hits if there are at least 3 uncancelled hits.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's going to be...
Yeah, that's going to be an ugly one. That one looks like he's just barely not going to be in, I think.
Doesn't look like Thane's going to be getting his ability this turn.
No.
Not with that arc. What do you think?
No,
Does Biggs have
Biggs
an
does
arc?
have arc apparently, so that's going to be a shot.
I was going to say, because otherwise that's
It's just one.
That's not a good start.
And no damage. Yep, just barely in there. So when Torkel takes a shot, if Torkel takes a shot, Thane will be able to do something, but I don't think Torkel will, because firing a primary at that range, not a lot. That is nothing.
Looks like 1 focus.
Yeah, he's going to spend it, so. What's the crit?
We've not decided yet. We're just going to pick what seems interesting. Failure. Yes. 0 dice hawk.
Hey, now if you get a 1 shot at range 1, that'll be super awesome.
It's not going to happen with these ships.
I just want to see it. I mean, I just fired a primary with him in 1 shot at that TIE fighter. That was the sweetest.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen in this one because he's got nothing that can be 1 shot from that.
He has to get range 1 and then a crit to do some serious major hull breach, direct hit, a maximum possible 4.
Yeah, major into
damage.
major into direct, but no.
So the mobile arc span to match the primary arc.
Okay, so the mobile arc is now forward based on the gyro from the gyro. Oh, left. Okay, so left side.
Yeah, if it started out back, it couldn't move all the way. Or wait,
It can.
Can they move
Yep.
any of them? Okay, I was
Yep.
thinking it could only turn 1.
Yeah, whenever
at a
you
time.
perform the action, you can rotate it to any spot.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you could only rotate it 1 or something.
Nope, you can
for some
rotate it
reason.
any number.
It's been a while.
Nope. You're allowed to rotate it where you need it to go. Even if it's all the way around, you can do it. In this case, Nick's only going to go to the left side, so that implies I think he might actually be trying to go straight here and go forward, rather than try and chase. Going behind them is kind of a risk, but seeing as he'd only be going behind one bomber, that's not too terrible.
Yeah, I mean, the thing here is Chris has got a lot of health to chew through, and he's only got, what are his primary weapons? 3, 3, and 2? So,
yeah, it's actually not that bad out of the...
Yeah. Whereas we're looking at a... Oh, sorry, Torkel does not have a TLT. Torkel's got an ion turret.
Yeah, he's got the extra control. That is going to potentially severely restrict Chris's maneuverability. The stress is also going to severely limit his maneuverability from Asajj once she gets it up close.
Well, let's see. Between Zuckuss and, say, an Arc fighter, we're looking at, let me see, the Arcs have, how many shields? 3 shields.
3 shields,
6 health.
Yeah.
As opposed to 4 and 4, so they're pretty comparable. And they both have 1 of 8. No, sorry, Arcs have 2.
No, Arcs have 1.
1, yeah, they're 1. As the new TIE fighter's got 2.
No, yeah, the Arc is also more of a bomber than it is a supremacy fighter, so...
How do they compare on points, then, I wonder? Zuckuss
is more of a straight-up B-Wing without any sort of ordnance slot, so... Chris is playing this very, very slowly. He's looking to...
You hear that, Chris? Calvin says you're slow.
I meant his ships are moving slow, but okay. If you want to call somebody else slow, that's your prerogative.
I'm going to take every chance I can. It wasn't a criticism, it was just an observation of what someone else said.
Yeah, you are probably the person least able to throw around the slow tag, so...
Hush.
Yep, that's more or less what I thought Nick would do. Go conservative and point the mobile arc that way. This also gives him a little more room to sweep in behind with a hard 3 next turn. The only problem is he's actually gummed up a lot of space that Zuckuss would like to be occupying, so Zuckuss is actually not in the best position to be doing much. And there's the range 3 on Biggs.
And he's got, what, 3 health left?
Yep, 3 health plus the integrated.
Plus integrated, okay, and he's about to...
And he's about to be at range 3, so...
Yeah, on the plus side, does it look like Thane has Zuckuss and Arc? Is he actually going to get to trigger his ability?
I don't believe so.
So here's...
Yeah, Asajj gets to stress at the start of combat phase, and then...
Oh, was Zuckuss target locking Biggs?
From K4, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Good old K4.
I thought it was measuring for shooting, so...
No, he was measuring for the target lock.
So we're going to see Asajj kick in.
Yep. At that range, that's going to be Tactician.
Looks like...
2 focuses.
2 hits and...
Those are focuses.
Oh, okay. And
that's
a hit. On Biggs. Is that 2 of 8s?
Yeah. And that's going to be a point.
So Biggs is down to 3 health.
Effectively, yes.
Yeah.
And he is not going to benefit from R4D6 much anymore.
You know what's nice here is, though, he's far enough away. If he's outside of range 2, that ion turret can hit the Arc fighter.
Yeah, because he cannot choose a weapon that can hit big,
Yeah.
so...
I think it means he actually has to. It's funny, from over top.
Yeah, you're forced to choose...
Yeah,
if you can choose a weapon that can attack bigs, you must. But if you don't have a gun that can shoot bigs...
You don't have to do a boost of our
Sorry, what? No, you do not. They actually reworded it in the FAQ. The
Yeah, it's a May.
Yeah, the original card that came with the tractor beam said you should, or I think it said you must. But the reworded card, they actually changed the wording, or so I guess errata or whatever, gives you the option. The catch is you can only do it once, which is a shame that you can't keep moving them.
You were
around
only
the
ever
screen.
able to do it once, but if they clarify that it's a May and you don't have to roll them or boost them if you don't want to.
Yeah. So if you guys are playing off the instructional cards, check the FAQ for the latest one.
Yep. I am glad that they're willing to modify it at least.
Yeah,
Make
I mean,
sure that
honestly, tractor
having rules
beam
work better.
Tractor beam would be garbage if you had to move it. There's just too many times you don't want to.
Yeah.
If you played them really well and got them in a position you want, then making you alter that is kind of cruel. Oh, was
Yep,
that a Shadowcaster moved him?
This is Zuckus shooting at bigs.
Interesting. So he moved him. He wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess. Well, if you keep him that way, he's out of the game next turn.
Yeah. It's interesting because he's rolling 5 dice on bigs. That's 4.
Just the crit. So I'll integrate direct hit away.
Oh, sorry. We're talking Zuckus.
Yep.
Integrated it.
Every time I hear Zuckus, I just think of the hawk automatically. So I was expecting the ion cannon there. Okay, so did he take a crit or did he?
He used integrated to knock it away because it was a direct.
So he's
now
on
he's going
2
to
health now.
Yeah, and now he's just going to attempt to poke the hawk through the debris with the useless primary as he gets double blanks. Good times.
Oh, that's his K-wing going.
Yeah.
And then this is
The arc. Nothing.
wow. That's a lot of one hits.
Now, the interesting thing is he may have actually rolled bigs into the ion cannon. So.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. When Zuckus was shooting, I was thinking it was the ion cannon. I was trying to figure out how the heck do you get 5 dice attack with an ion cannon?
It was only 4.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but
5 on the defense.
yeah. So yeah, the question here is, do you keep him out for a turn? Because if you hit it, he doesn't die, but he's facing the wrong way. Oh, and he's got less agility, so 2.
Yep, so the tractor
2
beam
was
just
an
hits him.
automatic. Okay, so Biggs is.
Big is now ion, pointing the wrong way and out of the fight. So
this
he
is where
not
I
relevant.
guess. But you know what's interesting here is this is kind of where the arc or the tail position in these fighters kicks in, because whereas previously, I mean, if the arc fighter only had a primary out the front, now Biggs is flying the wrong way. He doesn't get to use Biggs anymore if he wants to shoot with the arc fighter, because the arc has to turn towards the other guys.
Yeah, but the arc still does have the aft shot. But
Exactly. So all the arc has to do is, it can do a hard turn away and fire out the rear and still stay near Biggs.
Yeah.
And
With that barrel roll from Thane's ability, he may be able to do something here. What I think he's looking to do here is to grab a hard 2 and drop a counter net from Thane, because that K-wing is completely out of position.
Oh, the K-wing doesn't have the counter net.
No, it's got proximity and cluster. Yeah. But look where it is. He's not using those anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm not sure why he went that far out. It just seems a little too far.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
It's like I didn't see his approach, but I know
It was all the way up across the top side of the board.
Well, Nick started in the bottom corner, so
yeah, but Chris did have to deploy after, Chris had to
Didn't-
deploy
didn't
before
Chris-
Zuckus and Asajj were down.
I thought Chris deployed in the bottom left.
He
corner.
deployed 2 ships down there and the
sorry.
K-wing at the top.
Yeah, sorry, Chris's left hand. If I'm looking,
Yeah.
there's too many orientations here. So
Just use the screen orientation for convenience, really. Like Chris deployed 2 ships in his bottom corner there, and the K-wing was up at the top.
I don't know why I didn't just joust with the K-wing and drop a bomb right in front of him. I don't know. I think the problem is if bombs can only be accessories. If you don't have some kind of gun on your ship as well, it's not going to cut the mustard. It's like, and part of the reason is it's hard to position bombs if they know that's what you're doing, right? So, for example, the only time I got nailed really hard by, I think it was, actually we were playing a furball, and I think it was a furball.
Well, that almost doesn't
Anyways,
count.
Jerry, and you know Jerry picks interesting lists. Jerry had a fire spray with like
A bunch of
I
ordnance.
think it was Emon, so he could drop stuff at range 3. And the thing was, as long as you're worried about his guns, he positions himself and then he conveniently bombs you and takes out like some really good or he takes out like your best ship because you totally forgot he can just drop a bomb where he is because you're so proud that you dropped him on an asteroid. And then it's like he survives 2 turns longer than he should and you're hurting. So but what it really shows you is that if a bomber is just a bomber, it's just too easy to avoid because you can focus exclusively on that. If the bomber's got some other firepower, then you get the choice to... It's distracting. It makes it harder for your opponent to remember everything you have.
Yeah.
And it gives them something else to worry about, so they can't just avoid you.
Yeah. There is the Connor net.
So it's 2 ion tokens. It's 2 for the Connor, isn't it?
Yep, 2 ion tokens. It will ionize a large ship.
Not this, it'll be next turn. So if you've gone straight, you're up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't
And
think
you
they
do lose your action as well if
Yep.
you haven't already gone.
Yeah.
And Thane, who'd Thane hit?
Sorry?
Did Thane drop that on?
That
oh,
hit.
I guess that was on
That's
Asajj.
Asajj.
Okay.
Perform action skip is skipped. She takes 2 because Sabine was used on the Connor net.
Well, wait, what?
Sorry?
Didn't she move before him?
Thane and the K-Wing are both skill 4. They can move in either order.
Yeah, but Asajj Ventress, didn't they just
No,
drop
she's
it
skill 6.
Yeah, I know. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking shooting. Wow. Chris, that was a terrible idea.
Just so you know, Chris, that means you know Ian just said something dumb. Why did Chris bother placing a dial for Biggs? But we will never know. Because even he doesn't.
I just wanted to cheat, man. I don't think.
And Nick catches Chris cheating again, being a horrible person. Terrible, really. Well, Biggs is toast. Oh, that's...
That is like the one. That is like the
regret.
one. We did not
Regret.
expect that. I like.
Honestly, the one big... I don't even know what he was going to do with that.
Why? Why?
I forgot the timing for Connor net. I thought it was going to ionize me next turn.
It does ionize.
It does not ionize you next turn. Why did you bank this turn, though? That's a terrible play. You're off the board regardless of what you did with that.
I'm like on the screen we're seeing. It looks like you couldn't get out of that even if you weren't ionized.
Yeah, I don't think he has a way off of the board now.
Right now, Chris is kicking himself for wasting his ion.
No, that's not a waste because
Because he can get out of that if
He can?
puts an ion.
How do you?
hard 2.
Hard to? Oh, okay.
I think that's good enough. Wait, no, they have the hard one. Yeah, they have the hard
Oh,
one.
they have a hard one.
I keep forgetting that the Lancer is a stupidly maneuverable thing, and I've been.
But it's a
fine
red
too.
on them, right?
No,
Jeez. Okay.
Look
Yeah.
at that dial. It is nuts.
I got to look at that dial again.
It's a fantastic dial. I don't have it open yet.
Okay.
But it's good. It's a very good dial.
I mean, in my head I was thinking it's so good.
Oh, wait, no, they don't have the hard one.
They don't have the hard one.
They have the hard 2.
There you go. I was like, I didn't think they did because I was thinking everyone thought their dial was amazing because of all the green 3s. And a
Yeah, no,
green
it's still a
4.
very good dial.
Yeah, it is.
Even with the hard, without the hard one, it's a very good dial.
Yeah, maybe there's more space than it looks like because on the laptop screen it looks like a 2 would be
It's
really
irrelevant
tight.
now because it's
Yeah.
hose, and it skipped to perform action, so Asajj isn't even going to do anything this turn because her arc was pointing left.
Oh man. But still, that I don't know why you'd want to go in a corner like that because that is so tight.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very questionable play.
It was like I don't know why he wouldn't do a hard 3 there
yeah.
because a hard 3 would have been the ideal move. A hard 3 to the left. I mean,
Honestly, that's what I would have taken.
especially I mean not. He's not stressed, but I mean, if he went a hard 3, there was pretty much nothing that the arc or the bigs could have done to get out of it.
Yeah, and honestly, it pulls you up to still be near them, so you're firing at them. And it's green.
More that I've never played against the corner net before, so I thought that the template didn't go backwards. I thought it went sideways. So I was trying to fly out to fly so that I wouldn't hit the.
Connor net. Oh, okay.
I
think I see what you're saying. So
I
he
see
was
the
trying to
technical
avoid it
charge
as
of
if
that
he
maneuver. It's-
dropped it behind him like a cluster mine token.
Yeah, no, he got the timing then.
Yeah.
Well, this is why you gotta read the cards. If you don't know what they're doing, you will regret it.
Well, at least there was some method to his madness. I was wondering if he just set the dial wrong.
Yeah, that's also a bit of a distant possibility there. Unfortunately, that is going to cost Nick a hefty chunk of points for minimal investment.
That's got 45 points there on Asajj, and that's probably the best use of Connor net in history.
Quite possibly. How many shields was that?
All the shields got up there, and one shield got up to
Okay.
So what we're curious, had Ventress or any of them taken any damage to that point?
No.
Okay, so up until this
so
running
Mux
up
has
the
4 health?
board, he was.
Yeah, I thought you'd taken a crit. So yeah, this is really bad for them. Well, he's gonna have
Well, at
that
least he
ion
didn't
cannon
too
shot.
sloop off the board.
Yeah, only a terrible player would do that.
God. It's like,
Okay, and Thane just keeps taking damage. Well, honestly, enemy ships right behind him is something he's perfectly happy with. So, like, he can just drop the bomb and go, "Yay! I'm done."
I guess one thing I would have been thinking here is I'd have still done the 3 even if I was going over the Connor net. Because you know what? It's 1 damage. You're in the right place. Because if he does a 3 and he knows where Biggs is, he's going to light something up.
Yep.
And he's going to be in a good position for the next turn anyway. So it's like I would be Asajj and I'd just be laughing. Haha, I don't care.
Yeah, that would have been the argument I would have used. Unfortunately, Nick tried something a little cute, and it really did not pay off. There's no way.
It's probably just a friendly mentality. I do stupid things when I don't care.
Yeah, we're.
Oh, we were thinking just a 3 hard.
Yeah, I was thinking 3 turn.
3 turn? 3. Oh, okay.
Turn, not bank.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
That's what I expected.
Yeah.
And the reason is
Because he was going to hit you with the net no matter what.
Yeah.
So.
And then it would have been a sweet range 1 shot, 4 dice on just about anything. I mean, he would have
with
finished.
fearlessness.
He would. Fearlessness would matter.
Quite potentially.
Unless
Depends on.
actually, let me
Look, a small base ship has such a broad. Is like compared to the large base ship. Like because the arc extends enough. If they were close enough, it is possible he would have gotten fearlessness.
now,
depending on how
now
the final
I have to
positions
read
were.
The Fearlessness. 'Cause
Fearlessness is a firing arc.
So
The
if-
mobile arc is a firing arc.
oh my gosh.
Auxiliary arcs are firing arcs.
So Fearlessness, if you got him in front of you and he's got a rear arc, he's going to get Fearlessness. Ooh.
Yeah, if they're close, if they're also close enough side to side, then they'd both be in each other's arc.
Wow. That is very good to remember. So note that, everyone. Fearlessness, it applies to secondary arcs.
Yep.
And that's going to be huge because anything going out the side of the Shadowcasters is going to
Potentially trigger Fearlessness, and this is why.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris is really trying now.
Geez, if I'd realized that.
Oh, it's a
could-
one forward because it's ionized.
Yeah.
She's not off yet, but yeah.
But if she can move her arc, she might get another shot.
One final shot, yes.
One final shot at that K-wing, maybe.
No, there's no way that's in range.
No, I guess not. It's yeah. I mean that K-wing's straight at the middle of the.
Yeah, that Asajj is basically there just to soak up time now. But in the interest of being scrupulously correct, I haven't assigned the points yet, even though we all know that's going to happen in a turn.
Yeah. A lot of this could come down to how much damage does that arc fighter have at the moment?
The arc is 5 health left.
5 health. Ooh.
Yeah, Thane's right there. So, 5 health.
Torquil's too far. Oh, Torquil's also a lower pilot skill. I was going to say if Zuckuss could nail the arc, but it's could do some damage if he can get a nice crit, but otherwise he's in deep.
And here's the kill shot. 5 dice out of Zuckuss. That's going to hurt. That is 5.
Wow, 3 hits, 2 crits, and oh, and he needs the evade to live, but may still
because we
die.
got off of the
He
jab
may
effect.
still die just from the. Are you?
Well,
2 chances for a direct.
he's not dead yet.
So major hull breach would
Is
be
irrelevant now because it's
No
all damage.
actions?
No, damage
no.
cards are dealt face up.
Okay.
But he's only got 1 health left, so it doesn't matter.
Wow, that was so close to one shot, or not one shotting, but taking off all 5 remaining.
Yeah, if
You
it
pretty
hadn't
much-
been for that token.
I think he pretty much needed that too. Well, it's pretty close now, except that K-Wing's full health, isn't it?
Yep, that K-Wing is full health. Thing now gets to put a 3 dice with a focus 2 crit. He doesn't get it, but you know what? 3 hits on...
He took his dice out. Did he not roll anything?
No, he got 3.
Oh, okay. That's
He
what
just
I thought.
pulled them so that he wasn't
Okay.
interfering with the dice.
Yeah.
So... Honestly, I would have gone with the K-Wing first, but just in case you got a focus out of it, knock the shields down, and potentially get a crit out of Alliance Overhaul. Like, in practice, that didn't actually matter because he never got anything out of Alliance Overhaul, but the same thing happened in Aaron's game. He should have fired Backdraft after firing Fell when he was going after Manaru in the very early game, because Fell could have knocked shields off and then Backdraft's auto crit would have hit Hull. But he ended up not actually doing enough damage to actually hit Hull anyway, so... Torquil's Ion Cannon does nothing. And Asajj flies off the board.
Well, now we're finally gonna potentially get to see what the K-Wing can do, I think. See, now the arc can fly out of the way.
See,
The K-Wing can
do a
zip
hard
in
2
do
and
his
drop a
bomb.
cluster mine in front of Zuckuss.
I mean, the K-Wing is finally in the perfect spot for whatever bomb it wants to drop.
Because it will end up right about there. Its mines will be approximately a little where
And what
Thane
is-
is, except a little closer to Chris's left-hand corner. So
this
the
one's
bottom
got procs
right
and
corner.
cluster, so
So whatever it drops actually has a very good chance of tagging Zuckus. But Thane is going to want to go first.
yeah. I think I'd drop the cluster this time. Maybe.
Indeed. Of course, Thane's going to have to move first, but he will. Yeah, he's out of... He's still got a net, so... Oh, that's interesting. That's not what I was expecting out of him.
See, that's funny because I was thinking there's a lot of choice here with how he wants to bomb stuff.
Yeah. Now, the K-Wing should still be able to grab a hard 2 and drop mines.
See, I was thinking, this
But
is what I
this
was
is
thinking
also
more. I
better,
was thinking
yeah.
2 bank and then the cluster mine is
Yeah.
3 right up the...
Yeah, although a 3-bank might also have done the same thing.
The only catch here is, wait,
Yeah,
does
because
he
there's
have,
that
does
one
he have anything to
template.
get out of it afterwards? Because what it looks like is going to happen is he might miss all the cluster mines and then just bump into the K-Wing itself.
If he goes to the right, yes.
Well, even a straight looks like it might do that. It's hard to tell. I'm not used to this screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
see.
a proc,
Like,
so.
but
From-
even if that was a cluster mine,
Yeah,
you
it
look
probably...
at it,
yeah,
if he does a straight, he'd just hit the K-Wing and miss the clusters entirely. Do they have a 3? They don't have a 3 bank, do they?
K-Wings, they do.
Yeah. Okay. So if he had done
It's
a 3
their fastest turn.
bank, so if
turning.
he'd done a 3 bank, the cluster mine would have been gorgeous.
Yeah.
It would. Oh yeah. If he'd done a 3 bank, that thing would be hitting 2 of them this turn and 1 of them the next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just slightly misjudged the distance,
Yeah.
which is
The
a
K-wing
shame
wasn't as
because that
fast
would
as
have
it
been.
should have been.
That would have been. It's just fun to see ships hit bombs for I don't know why, but it's satisfying.
It's
Probably
because the
it's so hard
mechanics...
to do.
Yeah, we almost never actually get it to work. So that's why it's entertaining to us, because it's something that seems like it would be better, and it requires a lot of effort to pull off, so... And the Shadowcaster flies off. Oops. Oops, that's the wrong one. Nick doesn't have 45, Chris does.
Oh, and you know what? And I guess Sabine must have gone off when he hit the Shadowcaster for an extra damage to someone else.
Oh, no, he hit... I think he hit the Shadowcaster for that extra point.
Oh yeah, you can hit the same
Because-
ship. For
yeah.
some reason I was thinking Sabine required
Because
you to hit
I-
a different ship.
He didn't think that he would do the one bank, so...
It's funny here that neither of the typically TLT'd up ships went with
Potential
that.
TLT
So it's
shots,
like,
yeah.
so whatever they kind of neutralized each other's mistake, if you want to call it a mistake.
Maybe.
It's just hard to justify almost anything but the TLT. I mean, if you haven't got the points, you haven't got the points.
Yeah. That is an ion hit on Guardian Squadron. I think he's kind of okay with that. Because he just scoots one forward and drops a cluster mine approximately where he is.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be set for the next turn. I mean, how much health does the K-Wing have? Okay. K-Wing
That's the
has
first
lost
damage
one
it's taken.
shield.
Biggs and Thane are almost dead.
And it
but
just lost that from the ion shot it just took. So
That's correct. And we are on Duckers now. Because Duckers apparently did not have a shot. And now Biggs continues to run away.
you know, at this rate, Biggs is going to be able to turn around and come in. You know, it's a nice 3 days power.
I wouldn't though, because he's on 1 health.
If it were a tourney, I wouldn't. For just trying to win the game.
Well, we're playing this under tournament rules, so...
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, if you actually care about margin of victory.
Yeah. And the thing about Thane is,
So
he is now
Zuckus is on
useless
1 health,
for bombs.
and he's about to get
2 health.
He should have 1 because I thought he had 5 left. He took 2 and then 2 crits.
No, Zuckus took no crits.
Didn't? I'm thinking of the arc. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the arc is at 1.
The arc is at 1.
Yeah. Nick only has 2. Yeah.
Wow.
Nick only has 4 hull left because Ventress flew off the board.
If only there were a Ventress, this would be...
He would be in a much better position, but now he's in a really awful position because he's got 2 fairly low agility ships on burning hull remaining.
Yeah, so Zuckus is probably going to die here.
Almost.
Oh, he's trying to... Oh, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to block him so
I
that...
don't think he can.
Because if he meant... What did he just do? A 2-bank?
Yeah.
Was that a 2-bank on the Hawk?
Oh, he didn't think to block.
Oh, okay,
That's worse.
there we go. Well, you know what? To be fair, I didn't even think of it either. So it's like, as soon as he did the 1, it's like, hey, if he blocks him, he can't drop the bomb.
Yes. Explosion! The next one will hit.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't you do that after the explosion is resolved? Okay.
Well,
Don't you remove it after you roll the dice, though?
yeah. Because technically it would have been set underneath.
So the Sabine damage is going up to looks. Over.
Yep.
Yeah, the Sabine damage is going up to looks, not.
Okay. So we are taking 1 there.
Did the health even show up here anymore?
Yep.
Oh, down there. Okay, yeah. I didn't even realize that was connected. So does Zuckus live through the first one? Oh, did you guys roll the damage on it? Okay, so he's on 1 health, and he's about to go through at least 1. He's got, what, a red hard 1?
Yep.
Which would probably be his best choice right now. You think?
Chris, you do roll before you remove the token.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because, I mean, I know it specifically says to, like, put the token underneath him,
Yeah.
I believe. So, if Chris is lucky here, he can...
Yeah. I guess he's really just
Or,
gambling
sorry,
that
not
Zuckus
Chris
is
is
going to hit them.
lucky.
So.
If Nick did a hard 1, he might live.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Sabine's once per round, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it won't apply the second time.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing that makes me happy. Like, just, look, explosions!
And look at that. And look at that shiny acrylic.
Oh! Okay, looks like he'll stop just short of hitting the Connor net this turn.
Oh, did he miss that other... Did he hit both of them?
So this is Zuckus' last turn alive. Because next turn he will hit the
That's
net.
a big if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a hit, and Zuckus is dead.
Is he currently on that last token?
No, he
Oh,
just
okay.
he just
Oh, wow.
barely missed the last cluster token. One from the ion cannon evaded.
Jeez, you know what's interesting here is with the other ships so far out of position and an ion cannon, he could just keep ioning that K-Wing maybe right off the board.
Yeah, unfortunately he missed. And the primary shot back was the kill.
Oh, no way. Oh, that's... Darn, that would have been fun to watch the K-Wing go off, because then it would be like everything at 1 health, and then we would have had a game.
All right, yeah, that was honestly just that was just decided almost entirely by the very disastrous turn where Assad just flew off the board,
I think he decided to skill on the bombs.
and then the bombing just made it worse.
So you guys have no faith in the K-Wing's positioning.
Well, you know, if you were actually any good, you would have done
No,
the
the
3-bank.
Connor net won you that game, Chris. We are going to stop recording here for now and let them set up.